The Red Dragon Sports Network and CVC Sports presents from the SUNY Cortland Athletic Complex in Cortland, New York. The 56th Cortaca Jug game. Today, the 23rd ranked Ithaca College Bombers take on the SUNY Cortland Red Dragons from the SUNY Cortland Athletic Complex, Red Field. Hello, folks. I'm Cody Marshall alongside Corey News. Keith Corder will join us from the sideline in a moment. Both teams having different seasons. Ithaca comes in 7-2 overall, 6-2 in the Empire 8. In fact, they locked up that conference's automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. Meanwhile, Cortland started off 0-4, bounced back to win 4 of their last 5. They come in at 4-5, and for more on what it's like down on the sideline, we take it to Keith Corder. Keith, what do you have for us?
Thanks, guys. Down here on the field, it's 32 degrees with 10 to 15 mile-per-hour winds. It's partly cloudy, but it's supposed to clear up. Those mile-per-hour winds are going to be a huge factor today for both John Grassi and Tom Dempsey. On Cortland's side of the ball, they're going to be looking to go the air because it looks like they're finally healthy. With both Babin and Delahunty in the game, they're going to try to go there as much as possible. We'll see how much of the mile-per-hour winds is going to have a big effect on it. Dylan Peebles is going to be looked to have a big day on the ground for Cortland as well. Back to you, Cody, in that warm booth.
Now, Corey, you've had a lot of time to look over both these teams. What are your keys to the game first for the Ithaca Bombers?
Well, for Ithaca, started with special teams. The Red Dragons have had a great year special teams, averaging 27 yards on the kick returns. Dylan Peebles has accounted for 2 touchdowns off of kick returns. Now to the offense. They need to spread the field. The Red Dragons defense will be consistently switching up throughout the day, and they need to spread the field to keep the Red Dragons guessing. Now, for the Bombers defense, they need to stop the big play. The Red Dragons have relied on the big play to keep them in tough games this year, and if the Bombers can stop that, that would be a big hurt for the Red Dragons. Now for the keys for the Red Dragons. First and foremost, they need to establish the run game. The run game should open up the passing game and will open up the big play opportunities for them. Then, third down. Offensively, third down's been a big struggle for the Red Dragons this year. They're only 28%, and if that's the case today, it's going to be a tough one. Finally, they need to put some pressure on Ithaca's quarterback, Tom Dempsey. This is a pass-heavy offense, and if Tom Dempsey gets a free rein at it, it's going to be tough for the Red Dragons. But I do believe, overall, it's going to be a great game.
Throw the records out the window in this rivalry. We're all set. The fans are all set. We'll send it down to the field.
And on defense for your Red Dragons, at defensive end number 6, Gabe Ostro. Defensive tackle number 15, Joe DeLuca. Defensive end number 90, Jake Seresna. Outside linebacker number 30, Jesse Scana. Inside linebacker number 24, Tristan LaRoe. Inside linebacker number 9, Matt Ambrose. Outside linebacker number 32, Troy Beto. At quarterback number 31, Tyler Anderson. At free safety number 25, Carson Lassiter. At strong safety number 1, Andrew Pelosi. And at quarterback number 21, Mark Buddy. The Red Dragons starting kicker and punter is number 39, Shane Roman. The head coach of the Red Dragons in his 18th season is Dan McNeil. His assistants are Tunde Agoki.
So as they wrap up the starting lineups here for the Red Dragons, Corey, we're very excited for this one. They've announced the seniors honored them prior to the game. And coming up next, we'll get the Ithaca Bombers taking on the Cortland Red Dragons here on the Red Dragon Sports Network.
Profanity, racial, or sexist comments or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from the side of the competition. Also, consumption of tobacco products and consumption or possession of alcoholic beverages is strictly prohibited. SUNY Cortland requesting all fans please stay off the playing field before, during, and after the game. Please be informed that actions on and off the field are being videotaped and will be used to identify fans who go on the field or otherwise engaged in disruptive behavior.
Have a desire to learn? Want to have an experience of a lifetime? The State University of New York at Cortland is just that. Nestled in central New York, SUNY Cortland is a beautiful campus that covers over 190 acres with 30 traditional and modern buildings. We offer 60 undergraduate majors along with 38 minors from which to choose. The school has more than 7,200 wonderful students, all with a desire to better themselves. Come take a look at SUNY Cortland and seize the moment, feel the momentum.
Ready to run out onto the field. We'll give you some history on this rivalry since the rivalry started for the Jugs. Specifically in 1959, Ithaca leads the all-time series 34-21. The all-time series going back 80 years, even before the Jugs, much closer. Ithaca still leads that one, 39 wins. Cortland's won it 30 times, and these teams have tied 3 times. An interesting point we talked about earlier, John Babin will try to get into this game. He still needs 4 receptions to set the school record, and he has not played since October 18th against Southern Virginia, so certainly, Corey, a good benefit for the Red Dragons.
Yeah, I mean, that's huge, and as you can see right now, this Red Dragons team getting fired up under senior Richard Fernandez. A lot of seniors on this team tonight. I'm sure they want to continue the streak of 4 straight wins against Ithaca, being able to take home the Jug, and we'll see what they got today.
And there they make the run out. You know, it seems like whenever these teams get together, last year Ithaca came in a 1-loss team, and they've really had to find a way to step up against this Red Dragon team that no matter what their record is, no matter who they've played, how it's gone, they really step it up in this one. Last year, a lot of people thought, oh, Ithaca's going to take the Jugs back, no big deal. And then Cortland goes in, pulls off the upset, 28-24. Ithaca would go on to win, or to the NCAA tournament. Cortland unfortunately missed out, went to the ECAC Bowl where they lost to Alfred University. But certainly, Ithaca cannot take Cortland lightly in this one.
Yeah, this is a game where you have to throw emotion into the factor. There's a lot of emotion behind this. Teams are fired up. They care a lot about this game. This is their bowl game. If you're not going to the playoffs as the Red Dragons are, this is the bowl game for this season, and this is what they will remember. And I'm sure today we'll see a lot of emotion out there on the field.
As the color guard makes their way to midfield to present the colors for today's national anthem.
Please remain standing as Nancy Kane sings our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red clear, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Now it's time for today's coin toss.
So the referees come onto the field for the coin toss. We'll introduce you to them. The head referee today is Joe Caruso. The umpire is Douglas Wright. The head linesman is Scott Kranak. Line judge duties are with Benny Rivera. The field judge is Robert Frazier, the side judge Joseph Maloney, and the back judge is Daniel Boyle.
Vito Baboli and number 22 Sam Carney, along with game captains number 40 Ben Carey and number 47 Mark Riccio. And the captains for Cortland, number 1 Andrew Tolosi.
The captains for the Ithaca Bombers are number 4 Vito Bafoli, the wide receiver, number 22 Sam Carney, the defensive back. And also joining them are number 40 Ben Carey and number 47 Mark Riccio. For the Cortland Red Dragons, Andrew Tolosi's number 1, number 66 is Greg Kolodinsky, number 15 is Joe DeLuca, and number 6 is Gabe Ostro.
Yeah, 4 seniors right there and 4 leaders of this team. We'll see if we can set the tone early. If the Red Dragons set the tone early, getting the ball, it'll be interesting to see what the ideas are, what you want to come out with. Show your force on defense or show your force on offense, and this will tell you right now.
We'll defer choice in the second half.
So we get the announcement. Ithaca's decided to defer. They're going to go on defense first, so they want to see this hurry-up offense from the Red Dragons early, Corey, and we've seen it time and time again. The Red Dragons have gotten off to great starts, even against good teams, but their ability to sustain that momentum with the hurry-up offense is going to be key today.
Yeah, I mean, as we saw earlier in the year, a lot of the defenses had a tough time adjusting to this hurry-up offense, which prevents you from substituting different sets in and stopping specific downs during the game. And we'll see if the Red Dragons quickly come out back to that fast-paced offense and really start moving the ball down the field, or they'll go back to the big play opportunities. See what a lot of it depends on what type of defense the Ithaca's running. They're going to go with a quick close man or a soft cover 2 and prevent the big play. It's going to be interesting coming out with this first drive right here.
We heard from our partner Keith Corder about the weather today. Certainly a cold one, but a little different than we kind of expected. The last few days we've seen a lot of snow in the forecast, and you can see the results of that so far around the field. And once again, there's the officials: Joe Caruso, Dan McKeever, Scott Kranak, Benny Rivera, Robert Frazier, Joseph Maloney, and Daniel Boyle. But the sun has come out here just before the start of game time, and it looks like it's going to be a pretty decent day for football in the 56th Cortaca Jug game.
Yeah, we'll see. Cortland right now has the 4th best kick return team in the country statistically, with 27.2 yards per return, as I stated earlier, and 2 scores. And one includes a 64-yard touchdown last week at William and Patterson, and Dylan Peebles has set a single-season record with them, and his 3 career kickoff returns are believed to be a school record as well.
Kicking off for the Ithaca Bombers is number 34, Max Rottenecker. He's a junior from Bochum, Germany, and back to return for the Red Dragons are Dylan Peebles and Carson Lassiter. And we are underway with the 56th Cortaca Jug game. Peebles fields it at his own 1. He's out to the 20 before he runs into number 55, Dan Mastrov, who makes the tackle. And the Red Dragons will start from their own 20-yard line.
Yeah, it looked like Dylan Peebles wanted to show Ithaca what kind of running back and what kind of returner he is right now. He initiated that contact right there, really trying to set the tone.
Mentioned a quick change for the Red Dragons on the offensive line. Starting in place of senior Robert Mason Thorpe Jornson is Chijoke Azena Limba. 1st and 10, they run a screen pass to John Babin, and he's maybe gained a yard.
Yeah, maybe just a quick play to Babin to get him back to being comfortable with in-game situations, seeing as how he has been out since early in the year. Get some cohesion built back up between Babin and Grassi.
So with that reception, John Babin's 3 away from tying the school record. We'll keep an eye on that as the game goes on. 2nd down, Grassi gives to Peebles, who's brought down after a gain of maybe 3.
Yeah, it's tough the small yardage, especially on second down right now, leaving you with a difficult third down option. But as I said earlier, I think the Red Dragons really need to establish the run game to throw some twists into the Ithaca defense.
3rd and 7 for the Red Dragons. They need to get to the 31 to convert. Grassi back to pass. He finds Babin, who hauls it in, but he'll be well short. And the Bombers forced an early 3 and out.
Yeah, I mean, that's a tough one. Babbitt's got to know he's got to run the route farther than the sticks, and he curled back a little early, and Grassi threw it a little short. So not the best opening drive for the Red Dragons, but we'll see how the defense comes out, and Ithaca Bombers should be pretty happy with that defensive stand. They're looking fast, they're looking hard-hitting, and should be an interesting game what they're bringing for the Red Dragons.
We see Shane Cronin in to punt it away for the first time. Back to return for Ithaca is Sam Carney. The punt's away. Carney going back, fields it at his own 39. He's got some room to run across the 40, 20, and finally knocked out of bounds at the 15-yard line, and Ithaca is going to have great field position to start the drive.
Yeah, huge play by Ithaca, letting their special teams come up big and give them phenomenal field position. Good hustle by number 15, Joe DeLuca for the Red Dragons. Big man running down the field, saving a touchdown, but still great field position starting for Ithaca, setting the tone early, and looks like going to be the first one to put points on the board today.
So out of the field comes the Ithaca offense led by senior quarterback Tom Dempsey, who's had quite the season thus far. They line up with 4 wide receivers. Carey in motion. Dempsey fakes the handoff, rolls out. Has a completion inside the 10. Juke move inside the 5. That one was hauled in by Vito Buffoli.
Yeah, as we learned earlier, this Ithaca offense really relies on these short pass play patterns. Quick outs and some slants, and as you can see here, the Ithaca offensive line and the Ithaca starters.
Bombers substituting. Here's the offensive backs and receivers. We mentioned the quarterback, Vito Buffoli, interesting enough, the senior wide receiver, as you see there, really probably has a little bit of a sore taste left from last year. He coughed up the fumble that sealed the deal for the Red Dragons. Here's the give. Up the middle to number 2, Josh Oliver, who's brought down after a short gain. It'll bring up 2nd and goal.
Yeah, right there, it looked like the Red Dragon defense linebacking core really close into the box. Not sure if that's due to being as deep in the red zone as they are, or if that's what the game plan is for the Red Dragons today, stop the run.
There's a gain of 1 for the Bombers on the season. Oliver has split duties with Tristan Brown, among others. Dempsey fakes the handoff, rolls out, got his man, touchdown Bombers!
Yeah, right there, as you see Ben Carey, the quote-unquote fullback, has been known to slide out into the slot and go for those shallow patterns, and comes up big for the Bombers, putting the points on the board first today.
Ben Carey, the senior from Marlboro, hauls it in, and the Bombers lead it 6-0. Exactly what you want if you're Coach Mike Welch.
Yeah, I mean, phenomenal defensive stand, making the Red Dragons quick 3 and out, and special teams coming up big, giving you great field position and putting points on the board.
Garrett Nicholson on to attempt the extra point, snaps down, kicks up, and it's good. 11:48 left to go in the first quarter, and the Bombers lead it 7-0 here in the 56th Cortaca Jug game. We take another look. Dempsey fakes the handoff to Oliver, and nobody was looking for Ben Carey, and he's able to scoot into the end zone untouched.
Yeah, it looked like maybe a misread right there by 52 Troy Badeau. Outside linebacker looking like he believed it was going to be run, and left his man wide open and resulted in a touchdown for Ben Carey.
Certainly one of the Ithaca strategies, probably take the crowd out of it early, and they've silenced the Red Dragon crowd for now at least. We'll see if the Red Dragons can get anything going here on this kickoff return and in the ensuing drive.
Yeah, I'm glad you said for now, because there are still a lot of fans piling into this stadium right now.
Rottenecker set to kick it away once again. They use 2 different kickers. Rottenecker will attempt the long field goals and the kickoffs. Nicholson is responsible for the extra points and the short field goals. After talking to the Ithaca SID. This one will bound out of bounds. It's certainly not what you want if you're the Bombers, as penalty flags fly, and the Red Dragons will start from their own 35.
This is huge. I mean, giving the Red Dragons beautiful field position as they did for Ithaca on the last drive, and right now we'll see if the Red Dragon offense can come back and rebound after and respond to the Ithaca Bombers touchdown.
On the kicking team. On your county. Free kick.
As we got the call there from Joe Caruso, it'll be first down Red Dragons as they look to answer this Ithaca offense.
Seemed to be some confusion out there. Did he call a re-kick? I believe he did.
Well, certainly, if he did, not a bad decision. You know, a lot of trust in this kick return team. You mentioned they're fourth in the country. You know, why not give them another shot? If you can get out past the 35, do it. But then again, if you don't, a lot of people kind of look at you, well, why not take the field position? Still early, and the field position game certainly always crucial in any football contest.
Yeah, I mean, right there, you can see the confidence that head coach Dan McNeil has in his special teams. He knows that if given the opportunity, they can return this to the house and put the Red Dragons on the board with pretty exciting return.
So Rottenecker's going to try it again. Lassiter and Peoples back to return for the Red Dragons. Low line drive bounces at about the 13. Fielded by Peebles. He's out across the 20 and out to around the 30-yard line before being brought down. So field position doesn't go as well as it could have, but the Red Dragons fairly close to that marker, and that's where their second drive of the day will start.
Yeah, still looking at pretty good field position. You're not stuck deep in your own end zone or your own zone, and we'll see. Right now is when John Grassi needs to lead his team and respond to this Bombers touchdown.
Grassi back to pass. Looking deep on the near side for John Babin. Incomplete. Just overthrew him, and the Cortland crowd wants a penalty that they're not going to get.
Yeah, it looked like John Babin quit a little bit on that route. He slowed down and caused for the overthrow, but I'm sure we'll see that play numerous more times in this game.
Teams have tried to go away from Sam Carney, the other defensive back. Malik Morris has really stepped up for this Bombers defense. Grassi complete out to around the 35 as he slings it over to number 18, KJ Zinnerman, his first reception of the afternoon, and the junior from Buffalo has really stepped up this year as well. Had a touchdown catch against William Patterson in their last game. It's 3rd and 5. Grassi back to pass again. Pressure coming, he's trying to get away, and he's going to be run down from behind.
Yeah, right now the Bombers defense just has Cortland's number. Regardless of the fast-paced offense, they are putting some serious pressure on John Grassi and not letting him sit back in the pocket and have the ability to make good decisions.
Joe Ricotta got to him. A late flag came in from the far sideline.
Looks like the Bombers are not too happy with whatever the call is going to be.
As we take another look, Grassi trying to go deep for John Babin.
Sideline interference on Ithaca. 15-yard penalty. First down.
Interference going to give Cortland a first down and keep this drive alive. Big break for Cortland.
Well, the winter might the snow might look like it's just that Christmas season, but Ithaca giving Cortland an early gift. First down to the Cortland 41.
And that just refueled the Red Dragon fans. That you can hear a few chants going on out there, some yelling, bringing the noise.
And Lou Bushy in at quarterback now, more of a running quarterback than his counterpart. He gives to Lassiter.
Yeah, it looks like the Bombers are aware of what Bushi's going to do when he's in the game. Linebackers crept up. Everyone was just prepared for the run. Nobody really defending the pass on that one.
Gain of 1 for Lassiter brings up 2nd and 9, and John Grassi back in. 2 wide receivers out to the far side. The give is to Lassiter again, running towards the near side, and pulled out of bounds just as he got to about the 45.
Lassiter once again.
Lassiter, much like Peebles, both very hard runners. Tough to bring down. Arm tackles aren't going to do it today, and we'll see if that has an effect on the Bombers later in the game.
So it's 3rd and 5. Red Dragons need to get to the Ithaca 49 to convert. 3rd down conversions have been a real struggle thus far for Cortland. Pitch out to Lassiter. Looking for some blockers, not going to get them. The Ithaca defense stops him for maybe a gain of 1.
Yeah, again, Bushi was in the game, and the Ithaca linebacking core just understands when Bushi's in the game, the pass is kind of taken off the board, and they slide up, and they're just defending the run. And well done by the Ithaca coaching staff preparing the team for this game.
Cronin on again to punt it away. Bounces at the 26. Carney finally fields it deep in his own territory, and a great shoestring tackle to prevent a big return.
Yeah, phenomenal. Great. Well done right there. I believe that's by number 40, Devontae Davis. Made the nice dive and was able to stop potentially a big gain.
And now down on the field we see number 50, John Sadala, down on the field, the junior from New Hartford.
It's never good when you see the crew coming in and taking a peek at the knee first.
Sadala's the long snapper for this Red Dragons team, and certainly hustling downfield trying to make a play and whatnot, but now you've got to look through your depth chart if he's not able to come back and find someone who's as efficient as he is.
Yeah, that could be big. I mean, long snapping is something where you and your holder really need to become comfortable with each other, and having to put somebody else in that hasn't been working with you could throw things for a bit of a twist.
And the trainer's able to help him up. Hobble off on one, and got help there from linebacker Jesse Scana to do so, and then coming over to help him out even more was Luke Hinton. So the Bombers will start from their own 18.
Yeah, it seems like the Red Dragons are going to have to adjust their coverage right now. It looks like they're still just running a 2-deep zone or a cover 4, and Ithaca's taking a pretty good shot at that right now.
Dempsey back to pass. Fires complete. It's carry again near the 1st down marker. He's going to have it out to near the 30-yard line.
I mean, Ben Carey is just a great option to have for any quarterback. Comes out into the flat, and you know he's going to be reliable. He's going to go exactly where you've practiced with him plenty of times, and right now looks like the most consistent part of this offense.
1st and 10 again for Ithaca. Dempsey 3 wide receivers. He gives it up to Oliver, up the middle, and he's able to gain about 2.
Again, the Red Dragons all over the run defense, but I think it may be affecting the pass defense a little bit. Some adjustments may be made coming up pretty soon.
Second and 8 for the Bombers. They're looking to add more points on the board and try to take the Red Dragons out of it early. They send Oliver in motion, giving him 5 wide. Back to pass. Dempsey, incomplete. He threw it too low. It was intended for Joel Lynch.
Nicely done right there by Tristan Aurora, linebacker for the Red Dragons. When he saw the 5 wide come out, he made the call in the defense, called off all the blitzes, and they went out into straight man, and it worked out.
There's the Ithaca offensive line led by senior Bobby Garone. And the backs and receivers for the Bombers once again, Oliver, Carey, Tabbert, Buffoli, and Hastings. 3rd and 8 for the Bombers, and the offense isn't very good for the Red Dragons on 3rd down, but the defense is stellar, 12th in the country as far as opponent conversion rates. Dempsey back to pass. Pressure coming, and he's going to go down.
Yeah, that's something that the Red Dragons are phenomenal at. I mean, that on their defense, they have players such as Troy Bedeau, Jake Sorensa, Gabe Oslo, Gabe Oslo 16 hits on the QB, 2.5 sacks. They have a deadly defensive line, and Ithaca learned all about it right there.
Here we take another look. Coverage downfield was great and able to get in. Troy Bedeau, and he was helped a little bit by Jake Soresna. It was a loss of 10 on the play, and for the first time, the Bombers are forced to punt it away. Called for a fair catch. I thought started to run it. Now we'll see. Both teams want a flag. Ithaca wants it for the fair catch that was called and now enforced. Cortland wants it for possible kick-catch interference.
That's a tough one. I mean, he threw his arm up for seconds before he was able to pull that one in.
And the referees decide neither one's going to be a problem. So the Red Dragons will start from their own 46, their best starting field position of the afternoon.
We'll see if they get back to the short, quick outs and slants such as Ithaca was doing that we saw in past games that worked really well for this offense.
Grassi gives it to Providence, who's brought down for no gain. We'll take another look here. Did the arm come up? Right at the last second, it looked like he waved it off there, so the Bombers stopped, and then he continued to run with it. That was Caleb Bettis, the return man for the Red Dragons. Grassi back to pass, going far side, got his man out of bounds at about the 40. Hauled in by number 41, Matthew Goodman.
Nicely done by Matthew Goodman. Turned for the ball at the perfect time, and Grassi putting it in the one spot that only his receiver could get it.
Looks like he took some lessons from Cody Kessler there of USC after they trounced Cal. Here's the give. Providence up over the top.
Nicely done by Providence, able to get close to the first down. Red Dragons, this looks like a whole new offense from the past 2 drives.
Second down upcoming. It'll be second and about 3. They're at the Ithaca 32.
Again, you got single coverage right here on the outside with John Babin, somebody that Grassi loves to give the ball to.
Grassi back to pass. Going deep, looking for Babin, and he threw it. Pick. That's the captain, Sam Carney, hauling it in the end zone.
Yeah, that's tough. He stared at Babin the entire time, and he threw up a real blooper. Something that a free safety, as you see right there, just licks their chops when they see it thrown like that.
Saw Babin cut towards the middle of the field, decided why not give him a try, but way too far over his head.
Yeah, that'll be John Babin's 15th interception on the year, and that's been something that's really difficult for Cortland.
We'll take another look at it. Grassi dropped back to pass, looking Babin all the way. And Babin not even close to the end zone. That's overthrown by about 3 yards.
Yeah, excuse me, I said that was Babin's 15th. I meant Grassi. But something that the Red Dragons are really going to have to, this defense is going to have to make up for right now.
Bombers start from their own 20. They give us Oliver, and he's got some room to run. Out across the 30. And finally brought down at around the 39.
Beautiful move by Josh Oliver. Once he got some free space, I believe he had Tolosi coming down at him and made a nice move, able to get about 5-6 more yards. Nicely done.
19 yards on the play.
Mentioned Tom Dempsey coming into this game. He was 184 of 272, over 2,000 passing yards already this season with 2025. First and 10 for the Bombers. Fakes the handoff, going towards the far sideline. Got his man. It'll be short by about a yard.
Tom Dempsey's pass.
Yeah, turnovers seem to be something that was able to spur this Bombers offense. Last week against a very good St. John Fisher football team, they forced 5 turnovers in their victory, and it's been real beneficial for this Bombers team.
Chris Bauer on the reception. 2nd and 1 for the Bombers. Carry in motion. Give is to Oliver running near side. He's got the first down out across midfield into Cortland territory before being brought down around the Cortland 48.
You got to give credit to quarterback Tom Dempsey. When he gets that back there prior to the snap, he is pointing out every single Red Dragon defender he believes is going to be an issue for them, and they need to pick up on the blocking scheme. So a lot of credit to him right now.
So Ithaca continues to move the chains here on this drive. Really keeping this defensive line for Cortland off balance. They haven't been called for offsides yet, but certainly have come very close. Dempsey back to pass. All the time in the world, he flips it to Oliver, who breaks one tackle. And he's inside the 45 before being tripped up at around the 43. It'll be a game of about 6.
Josh Oliver, very crafty player. When you see him and he has the open field, you have to wrap up because he will break a tackle or make you miss. And right there, you can. It's a great example of it.
Second down for Ithaca. 2 wide receivers, carries in the backfield along with Oliver. It's a screen pass, and it's going to go backwards. They flip it out to Buffoli, and great open field tackling there
Buffoli on the reception
for the Red Dragons.
Yeah, phenomenal tackle right there. Wrapping up, as I said earlier, something really key that you see avoided in every level of football nowadays. You see missed tackles in NFL, Division I college, and even here.
And coming up with the tackle there was Mark Del Preti, the sophomore who's really stepped up. And now it's 3rd and 7 for the Bombers. They need to get to the Cortland 39 to convert. Play clock's down to 5.
Looks like the Red Dragons running soft cover 4 again. See if they can take advantage.
Pressure coming. Dempsey trying to escape. He's able to do so, but won't get the first down. Knocked down at around the 45, and the defense for the Red Dragons steps up again.
Yeah, this linebacker core right there. You see Tristan Moreau. He was in the backfield. Seemed right after the ball was snapped, and putting the pressure on Tom Dempsey is exactly what I said the Red Dragons defense is going to have to do today in order to come away with the W.
There you see the pressure forcing him out of the pocket. He had to tuck it and run, and actually it looked like the Bombers might have gotten away with a hold there on the other side of the line. Regardless, they're punting it away. Bettis back to return. He fields it at his own 15 and is tripped up at the Cortland 21.
Bettis on the return.
A 6-yard return for the Red Dragons. They're looking to get on the board here. They trail by 7 with 2:20 to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, I think the big thing right now is a sustained drive for the Red Dragons. Give their defense some rest. They've been on the field for the majority of this game, and this is something that we've seen consistently happen over the year with the Red Dragons, is their defense is out there for so long, they get tired and they let up simple plays that they would normally stop.
Grassi flips it out to Mannix, who's going to go out of bounds just short of the 25, gain of 3.
John Mannix on the reception.
I like the play call on that one. Go back to the short routes, gain some confidence, get some confidence back for John Grassi, and we can get this pass game back functioning.
2nd and 7. The give is to Peebles, who fights his way ahead to the 25.
Dylan Peebles with a carry.
Coach Dan McNeil, we talked to him about
tackle made by number 47, Mark Riccio.
The biggest thing is it matters which
no gain on the play. 3rd down and 7.
That determines how good you're going to be on 3rd down. And really, the Red Dragons have not made 3rd downs all that short. They haven't been obnoxiously long. Grassi back to pass, floating it up for Babin, and he throws it out of bounds.
That's a tough one that he's going to want back, and you can see is already frustrated. John Babin, there's a clear blown coverage right there. John Babin was wide open, and that's one you're going to want back every single time.
You see the stats there. Grassi's 5 of 7 now for 27 yards. He does have that 1 interception. And once again, the Bombers force a 3 and out. And we'll see Shane Cronin.
Yeah, right now, the Bombers' linebacking core and defensive line is really setting the tone. Led by Mark Riccio. They are putting all the pressure on John Grassi, and he's clearly flustered.
We're going to get a penalty here. Looks like it's going to be against
False start. Offense number 9. 5-yard penalty. Remains 4th down.
To get Matt Ambrose, the junior, for false start. It'll back the Red Dragons up 5 more, so it'll bring up 4th and 12. And now Cronin will be punting from inside his own 10.
Yeah, that's tough. Probably giving Ithaca a great field position yet again.
A bit of a high snap. Cronin able to get it away. Carney calls for a fair catch, and the Bombers will start from their own 45.
Fair catch by number
It'll be
22.
interesting to see how the Red Dragon defense comes out right now if they continue what they're doing, because these past few drives, their defense has looked really solid.
1st and 10
And
Bombers.
the Ithaca Bombers, see if they switch it up. They go for maybe go to a bit of the long ball again and see if they can basically flip-flop sides and be like how Cortland normally is.
First down, Ithaca. Oliver in the backfield with Dempsey. He's got 3 wide receivers. Back to pass. Going towards the far side. It's complete. That's Buffoli, who breaks 1 tackle and is finally wrapped up at the Cortland 36.
Great ball right there by Dempsey, giving it to Buffoli in the wide open space, and Buffoli, again, another nice move after the catch, getting a few more yards. Yards after the catch, always a big thing for any team.
Nursing stat with Buffoli, so far this year, he can also pass the ball. He's 2 for 2 for 2 touchdowns for the Bombers, as it gives to Oliver, who's inside the 30.
Josh Oliver with the carry.
Huge hole right there. This Bombers offense is clicking on all cylinders. Their run game's looking better. Their pass game is as efficient as ever and looking good.
Here's a completion to Buffoli. Broke the tackle from Lassiter, but Del Prete able to get back to make the stop. 2nd and 3 for the Bombers. Buffoli in motion. The give is to Oliver. Had some room to run. He's got the first down inside the Cortland 25.
Yeah, another very big hold. Nicely done by the Red Dragon secondary, being able to fill after the linebacker core, but
1st down Bombers.
still a nice hole. Getting real mellow on the Cortland sidelines right now.
Ithaca's got it first down from the Cortland 24. And we have seen the final play of the first quarter of play. We're through 1 here on the Red Dragon Sports Network. Ithaca leads the 56th Cortaca Jug game 7-0 on the touchdown reception by Ben Carey.
With your score,
Yeah, the Ithaca offense is looking really good right now, whereas the Cortland offense can't really get anything going. Ithaca offense, only 7 points, but a few drives, sustainable drives, and right now knocking on the doorstep again.
And now we'll send it down to Keith Corder. Keith, what do you have for us?
Hey guys, I'm with Athletic Director Mike Eritz, and Mike, anytime these two teams get together, Cortaca, it's just a great time. What's the excitement right now actually hosting it here in Cortland?
I'll tell you, it's always a pleasure. In the last 10 years since we've had this stadium, everything runs really smooth, and the buzz around both campuses is outstanding. And then the day of the game, I'm like a little kid again. I love it. It's a lot of fun. 2 great teams, well coached, great battle out here. It's just great energy.
Without a doubt, great energy. Some other teams we have some great success right now. Our men's soccer team making the NCAA, our track and field team having success. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, well, our men's soccer team's having one of the best years we've had in a decade, and we're out in Boston, out in Babson College. We play at 1:30 today. Very excited about that. We like our chances as well. Both cross-country teams are competing in the regionals, NCAA regionals this week out in Western New York, and they both have high hopes in that regard as well. So I'm looking forward to those results pretty quickly here.
And as we wrap up the fall here, we're getting into the winter sports, wrestling, basketball, excitement around these teams.
It is. We got a lot of strong programs year in or every season, and our wrestling team's been outstanding the last few years. Basketball's open up this weekend, and hockey's have been going. not to mention gymnastics and swimming. We're very full. And we have indoor track starting, so we're excited. They all have high hopes this year.
We thank you for meeting with us, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the day.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Take
Back
care.
to you, Cody.
Thanks, Keith. Start of the second quarter. Ithaca starting from the Cortland 24. Just a quick note, the women's basketball team gets underway today. They start a tournament in Saratoga Springs at Skidmore College.
And right now, some troubles with the clock at the moment.
Well, scoreboard in general, they just had it up to the third quarter and then went back down to the second.
And now Ithaca has 10 points.
There we get a look at it. Oh my goodness, everything going wrong right now. Well, the down to go and where the ball is, that's good. They've managed that part.
Yeah, and I mean,
Oh, there's a score. The score's back to normal now.
big break for the Red Dragon defense right now, being able to get a breather. Third quarter.
So there we go. They're all set with the scoreboard, and Ithaca is all set for the play. First down from the 24. Dempsey, a little bit of a high snap. Gives it to Oliver. Brought down after a short gain.
Yeah, I think that break in play right there was actually beneficial for the Red Dragons. It looked like they had a little more fire lit under them, and they really gang tackled to that ball right there.
2 yards on the play.
And we'll take it down to Keith Quarter again with the injury update.
Hey
Keith.
guys, John Sedala, the long snapper, we saw him get a big injury. It's a believed torn ACL, so that could be a huge loss for obviously the rest of the year for the Red Dragons.
For the Bombers, Dempsey rolling out. He's got Carey inside the 20. He's got the first down inside the 15.
Again, Carey, I mean, the Red Dragon defense might have to just put a spy on him because he's been the biggest issue for them today.
Take another look. They've been faking the handoff to Oliver every time he's rolling out, and it's just him and Ben Carey. So if you cover him, he's got to find another option. Really, the Red Dragons just have not found the answer yet.
Yeah, I mean, very simple play. Just a small ball fake in the backfield, getting a lot of the Red Dragon linebackers to rush to stop the run, and Carey just really hurting the Red Dragons right now.
Dempsey under center. Give to Oliver up the middle. And another short gain for Oliver.
with the carry.
Been managing his way for yards throughout the day, and simply that's all the Bombers want. 37 yards prior to that play, and then the 1 yard, so he's up to 38 yards so far on the day.
Yeah, and averaging almost 6 yards a carry is something you're going to love for your running back, and will hopefully open up the passing game for them.
2nd and 9. Dempsey, quick screen pass out to Buffoli, inside the 10. Red Dragons able to slow to the ball. Del Preti's there, Lassiter, Scana. It'll bring up third down.
Number 28, Mark Del Preti. 5 yards on the play. Third down and 4.
Yeah, big third down right here for the Red Dragons. If they could get a stop in their zone, it would be huge, only allowing a potential 3.
3rd and 4 for the Bombers. They need to get to the 4 yard line to convert. 3 wide receivers lined up in the pistol formation. Dempsey back to pass. He's going to tuck it and run. 5 yard line, and he slides down. Able to get the first down, so we'll keep the drive going for the Bombers, and it'll bring up 1st and goal.
Great decision right there by Dempsey. Able to get the first down, and seeing Tristan Leroy stepping up ready to lay the beat down on him. Smart slide, and coming back for next play.
Well-timed draw play for the Bombers. And it's 1st and goal from the 4.
That was the Bombers' first converted third down of the day, and came at a great time.
Dempsey, handoff to Oliver, going to the far side. Does he have room? 5, touchdown, Bombers.
Touchdown, Ithaca.
Oliver, for a running back, not a big guy, only 5'5", 160 yards, or 160 pounds, and he was previously a receiver, as you can see right there, being able to use his speed to beat people to the corner, and it's working out great for him today. Oliver, big player right now. Biggest issues for the Red Dragon defense, and the best for the Bomber offense. Ben Carey and Josh Oliver really leading the team.
Nicholson on for the extra point attempt. It's Josh Oliver's second touchdown of the season, and the extra point attempt is good. Bombers lead at 14-0, 11:56 to go in the half.
14-0.
Coming into today, Josh Oliver had
At this time,
185 yards rushing. He averaged 3.6 yards per carry. As we take another look at the touchdown run.
Yeah, Josh Oliver just able to beat the Red Dragon defenders to the corner, and great blocking out front by Ben Carey and Ryan Whiteley. Nicely done by the Bombers. Well drawn up play and executed perfectly.
So the Bombers go 54 yards with just 9 plays and punch it in once again, and Red Dragons need to find an answer quickly.
Yeah, the Red Dragon offense really has to show up, because right now their defense has been on the field the whole game, and it's clearly taken some wear and tear on them.
Rotten Matt set to kick off for the Bombers. That beats the Red Dragons, number 25, freshman last year, number 32, Dylan Peebles.
Similar sign there.
Yeah, you can see some creative Cortland students rooting for the John Babin.
Rotnecker kicks it away. Peoples Fields at his own 3. Got some blockers and some room to run, and finally tripped up as he crosses the 30. And the Red Dragons, will start from their own 32.
Yeah, big tackle right there by number 44, Christopher Fredlander, able to really stop a potential bigger gain. Something that Dylan Peebles has done multiple times this year.
So the Cortland offense starts at the 32. The give is to Lassiter. Trying to fight for yardage, and he's going to come up with a minimal gain here. The Ithaca defense has really stymied the Cortland run.
Yeah, one of the big keys ahead for the Red Dragons prior to the game was establishing the run, and right now the Ithaca Bombers got the Red Dragons' number.
Did you give them the keys to the game?
Apparently.
2nd and 9 for Cortland. Bushy's in, they run the reverse. Running towards the near side, the handoff was given to Mannix. And he's out of bounds at around the 40-yard line.
Mannix on the reverse.
Very doable third down right now, probably the first of the day for the Red Dragons. See if what they draw up to try and convert.
We're taking another look, they fake the handoff to Lassiter. He puts it on his hip and then gives it to Mannix on the end around. 3rd and 3 for the Red Dragons. Looking to keep the drive alive. John Drossie's back in. Play clock down to 10. Handoff Lassiter. Not going to get it.
It's tough play calling right now. The Red Dragons really sticking to that run in the most hardcore sense, and it's just being stuffed by the Bomber defense.
So the Bombers defense comes up with yet another stop. We're going to get the ball right back here.
Yeah, I mean, the Red Dragon defense coming back out on the field. The Bomber offense prepared to put another lasting drive on them.
Lassiter 4 carries for 5 yards thus far. And Cronin on to punt it away to Sam Carney. Cronin's punt, it's short. It's going to take a bounce on the Cortland side of the Ithaca 35 and then take some nice Cortland rolls into the Ithaca 25-yard line. Finally down at the Ithaca 22 where the Bombers will start once again. 9:55 to go in the half.
Yeah, big Cortland bounces and rolls right there to help the field position battle. But Ithaca, again, this offense, the past few times we've seen them, they're looking good. They're starting to figure out what's working and what's not working against the Red Dragon defense, and we'll see if Dempsey can lead them back down the field for another touchdown.
Dempsey 9 of 10 for 66 yards this far. Has the 1 touchdown to Ben Carey. The Cortland crowd with a chance of defense, trying to pump up this Red Dragon unit here. They know they need to stop. It gives to Oliver running near side. And he's going to be gang tackled
Josh
around
Oliver,
the 23.
Yeah, it's interesting that the Red Dragons' defensive plan really seemed to be to stop the run against this Bomber offense, because the Bombers have relied on the pass to get them to where they are this season, and right now it's both are helping them out.
And one thing you have to like, Ithaca's not really trying for the bombs. They're not trying for the long passes. It's a lot of short passes that wide receivers just make plays after.
Yeah, they're a substantial drive kind of team.
3rd and 8 for Ithaca. Dempsey on the give to Oliver again. He's going to be brought down. Penalty flag flies. In on the tackle was Andrew Tolosi, the senior.
Andrew Tolosi, there is a flag on the play.
It's big Tolosi's coming up to make those stops from his safety position.
And you see number 24, Tristan LaRoe, clapping, so it sounds like, it appears anyways, that it's going to be against Ithaca.
10-yard penalty. Repeat 2nd down.
Indeed it was.
Nice stop for the Red Dragons right here, and getting some help with this penalty. Pushing the Bombers back deeper into their own territory. This is when playing calling starts changing a little bit, and we'll see, as you can see right there, head coach for the Red Dragons, Dan McNeil, maybe changing things up a little bit on the defensive end, and see how he plans to stop this Bomber offense.
2nd and 18. You saw McNeil's in his 18th season. He's 10-7 in Cortaca Jug games as a head coach. Never won it as a player here at Cortland. Dempsey back to pass. Pressure coming in. He's able to avoid the rush from Scanna on the backside and pick up a few yards. Whoa.
Dempsey with the carry.
He's got eyes in the back of his head there.
Yeah, I mean, Jesse Scanna coming around the backside just completely pushed Oliver to the ground and was able to make Dempsey run free, and it looked like Dempsey was going to be taking a pretty hard hit from his blind side right there.
Here we take another look, and it just muscles him out of the way, but unable to get to the quarterback, and Dempsey picks up 4 yards before giving himself up. 3rd and 14 for the Bombers. Troy Beto is credited with the tackle on that one. Pressure coming, Dempsey able to get away, and now he's hit hard by Jake Serezna, the big fella.
Yeah, you can see the Red Dragon defense really happy with this stop right here, as they should be, and right now, looks like the Red Dragon defense might be getting in Dempsey's head a little bit, putting all this pressure on him.
Here we go, taking a look, able to avoid Gabe Ostro, but Jake Serezna able to wrap him up and bring him down. 4th and 13, and the Bombers forced to punt once again. And Jake Serezna, 6'5", 280. He's a transfer 2 years ago, came from Southern Connecticut State, a Division II program. Bettis fields the punt just inside the Cortland 45. He's got some room to run and spun down inside the Ithaca 40.
Great field position for the Red Dragon offense right now. Something that John Grassi is really going to have to take advantage of. We'll see if the Red Dragons push away from the run game and try and rely on their passing.
Here it is again, Bettis able to find a hole
1st and 10 Red Dragons.
and make the most of it before being wrapped up and brought down by Bobby Garone, the center. 7:09 to go in the half. Red Dragons have it at the Ithaca 39. Grassi back to pass. Steps up, trying to avoid some pressure, and ball's out. Hit from behind as he was about to let it go, but able to fall on it is his own lineman, Richard Fernandez.
Yeah, very alert play right there by Richard Fernandez. Grassi trying to make something happen at the last second. That tends to be when things go wrong, as it did, and Really heads-up play by Fernandez to fall on the ball right there and avoid a turnover.
Look for a second like Grassi was going to be able to get out of it. It results in a loss of 1, so 2nd and 11 for the Red Dragons. Now Bushy's in again. He's going to take it himself, hurling over a couple defenders and finally out of bounds.
Nicely done by Bushy, really hustling to get that as many yards as he can. Nice jump over a few defenders right there.
He's able to get to the Ithaca 33-yard line. Gain of 7 is going to bring up 3rd and 5.
The question is right now, is this 4-down territory, because you're kind of in that no man's land.
You see the huge difference there in total offense. Ithaca already over 100 for the day. Play clock's down to 7 for the Red Dragons. Grassi back in. The give is to Providence. And he's going to have a minimal gain. Got to maybe the Ithaca 31.
Again, the Red Dragons really relying on the run on 3rd down, something that's clearly hurting them.
Tackle number 30.
Now we'll see 4th down and 2. The Red Dragons offense going to stay out there. They're going to go to Lou Bushy. Number 17. Bushy back to pass. Gonna fire it out to the near side for number 18, KJ Zinnerman, who's got the 1st down and able to keep the drive alive for Cortland.
Big play right there for the Red Dragons. Smart choice by head coach Dan McNeil, throwing Bushy in. And clearly the Bombers believe that he's going to run it every time and swinging it outside to Zinnerman and getting a big 1st down for the Red Dragons. Nicely done.
Zinnerman pretty much just pulled off the line right there, able to get inside the Ithaca 25. Grassi back in, the gives to Providence.
Brian Providence on the run.
Interesting they're using Providence rather than Peebles. Peebles is normally their go-to 2nd string running back, and he's been very absent today. As I say that, he comes into the game.
Mark Riccio was on the tackle for the Bombers. Grassi back to pass on 2nd down, looking for it all for the end zone. Incomplete. Looking for John Mannix.
Grassi's pass is incomplete.
And we've got a flag coming in. It was thrown by the referee, Caruso.
Flag on the play.
Looks like it's in the area of either holding or a late hit on John Grassi.
It looked like, if I saw that correctly, it is roughing the passer.
Tough choices right now by John Grassi. He's thrown a lot of blooper jump balls, and I think he needs to put some more speed on it if they want to start completing these passes.
So they don't get the completion in the end zone, but they'll take close to the next best thing. It's a 15-yard penalty against the Bombers, and it'll put the Red Dragons at the Ithaca 12.
Yeah, I mean, right now the Red Dragons looking for the big play, because last year the big play was how they were able to succeed. 41-yard touchdown pass, a 63-yard pass, and we'll see if they can get back to it.
Here's Peebles, able to get inside the 10, but then he met a wall of white. It'll bring up 2nd down and about 7.
And on the tackle were number 36, Chris Williams, and number 47, Mark Riccio. 4 yards on the play. 2nd and 6.
Riley's sneaking into the game. The Red Dragons with their 4 go-to receivers out, lined up wide. We'll see what they're drawing up.
Gavin's on the near side, needs 2 completions to tie the record. Here's the People up the middle, touchdown, Cortland!
Again, another perfect play call. Completely catching the Bombers defense completely off guard. Believing that going 4 wide, you got your 4-star receivers out there. They're definitely throwing the ball to the end zone, and right up the middle, untouched, Dylan Peebles, touchdown. Nicely done by the Red Dragon offense.
A hole big enough to drive a Peterbilt through, and Peebles is into the end zone. And the Cortland fans finally have something to cheer about. As on to attempt the extra point is Shane Cronin.
Yeah, this is the last thing that the Bombers want, is letting the Red Dragon fan crew get back into this game.
Snaps down, kicks up. And the Red Dragons are back within a touchdown, down 14-7, 4:09 to go in the half.
Some tricky play calling, but they were able to put points on the board, and that's all that matters right there.
We'll take another look at the run here by Dylan Peebles. He's going to come right into your living room.
Wide open, finish the run. Big touchdown for Dylan Peebles. And this Red Dragon offense, get some confidence back in them. Maybe take some pressure off of John Grassi, and he can go back to throwing nice touches on his ball like he has in the past, whereas he's throwing a lot of bloopers today.
7 plays, they go 39 yards, and it took them 3 minutes.
Last year, Dylan Peebles was also the first one to put points on the board for the Red Dragons, so we'll see if this is going right down the path of last year's game.
We talked about the hurry-up offense. Here's Greg Kolodinsky.
Being conditioned, getting the call, executing the block, communicating with the guy on the right side and the left side of you. But it has its positives. Like, you control the offense, you control the line of scrimmage, you control everything, because the defense, sometimes they can't even get a call in, sometimes they can't even get a sub in, or they can't even can execute their play. Like, they can't execute what they're supposed to do, their responsibility.
Kickoff's away.
So
Carney
tired.
heads over, fields it at his own 10. Out across the 20. And he's going to carry some defenders with him. Finally brought down at around the Ithaca 35. A return of 25 yards.
Tackle made by number
Gotta love
41,
seeing
Matthew
returns
Goodman.
like that. Really tough run and able to get a few extra yards.
So it'll be first down Ithaca.
Yeah, that's the second nice return for Carney right there. Beginning of the game, he had that 48-yard return that was able to set up their initial score. We'll see if this one does the same.
He's one of the Ithaca seniors that really wants this. They haven't won it in his time over at IC. They'd like to do it as a senior. Dempsey under center for the Bombers. Takes the handoff, back to pass. Firing deep, looking for Buffoli, incomplete. Well defended by Mark Delpretti.
That is exactly what you want to see out of a corner right there. Didn't feel comfortable going up for the pick, but he made sure that ball was not caught. He batted it right down. Nicely done by Mark Delpretti.
Take another look. Looks like Delpretti gets beat here for a second. But able to recover and make an outstanding play to bat it away.
Yeah, I mean, that throw by Tom Dempsey looking a lot like the John Grassi attempts that we've seen earlier. Another blooper, just throwing it up, waiting for his receiver to make the play or the corner to make the play, as you saw right there.
Play clock down to 2, they get it off. Oliver on the run. Has some room to move, and he's out to the Ithaca 42.
Josh Oliver
It'll be
with
a
the carry.
pickup of 7.
Every single time Oliver gets a ball,
Tyler
he just
Anderson with the
impresses me.
tackle.
For such a little guy, he runs so hard. Able to run over a Red Dragon defender right there.
7 yards on the play. Third down and 3.
3.5 to go in the half. Red Dragons looking for another stop on third down. Bombers looking to keep the drive alive. Dempsey back to pass. Pressure coming. Able to get it away, but it's incomplete. Picked off. Sorry, it was tipped. And coming up with the interception for Cortland is number 24, Tristan Leroux.
Way to stay aware by
Dempsey
Tristan
pass
Leroux.
intercepted by number
Nicely
24,
done.
Tristan
That's
Leroux.
exactly what the Red Dragons needed right there. Put some points on the board, now getting a big turnover, giving their offense another opportunity.
Dempsey able to avoid the pressure. It actually hit off his intended receiver, which I believe was Ben Carey
First and
or
10,
Vito
Red
Buffoli.
Dragons.
And the Red Dragons are going to start from the Ithaca 44.
That's a tough one for Dempsey. Buffoli just wasn't able to get his hands on it, popped it right up, and Red Dragon ball.
Grassi back to pass, slings it over for Providence out of the backfield. He's got a first down to the 30. And look at the Red Dragons move the ball now.
Good enough for Red Dragons.
Yeah, I think the Red Dragons really just needed some confidence. They were getting completely stuffed at the beginning of this game. Finally got a good, nice drive, put some points on the board, and their confidence is back.
First and 10. Grassi rolling out, looking downfield, got his man Babin inside the 5.
Nicely done by Babin, completely blown coverage right there. John Babin wide open running down the sideline.
First down.
Big opportunity right now for the Red Dragons to tie this ball game up.
First and goal for Cortland, and Babin, his 3rd reception of the day. One more ties the record. One more, he's the best receiver the Red Dragons have ever had. The give there is to Providence, and he hit a wall. Loss of about a yard.
Yeah, right there. Number 36, Chris Williams for the Bombers, saw that hole, and he did the perfect job filling it, able to stop the run right in the middle.
Lou Bush is back in now at quarterback. 2nd and goal.
Second down and goal.
We haven't seen all of this big quarterback changes yet this year, and right now it seems to be working for the Red Dragons.
Bushy fakes the handoff and penalty flags fly. Looks like they're going to get movement along the line. And that's Dylan Peebles, the running back.
Second down.
That's tough because that's a running back, and you should definitely know the cadence if you're the running back. And right now, a red zone drive may be stalled because of penalties.
So that backs the Red Dragons up to the Ithaca 11. And John Grassi's back in.
Penalties like that are something that have plagued the Red Dragons throughout this year.
And the direct snap, now they're going to run a reverse. Zinnerman back the other way, he's going to throw. Middle of the field, incomplete. The intended receiver in the end zone was Delahunty.
Red Dragons not afraid to throw some trickery into the game, and bold choice by Zinnerman right there, throwing it over the middle. That's a interception territory, but he's able to get away with an incomplete pass.
3rd and goal coming up for the Red Dragons. Low snap. Grassi looking end zone, and he threw it away.
Yeah, not quite sure what Grassi was thinking right there, either a miscommunication, but regardless, throwing it out of the end zone. That's tough for the Red Dragons, getting their false start really hurt them, and now an errant pass.
So the Red Dragons will bring on the field goal unit and Shane Cronin to try and make it a 4-point affair.
You wonder if Grassi continues to throw passes like that, because that was not his first of the day that looked like that, if they're just going to give Lou Bushi the reins for the day.
Kicks up, and he puts it through. Red Dragons, 10 unanswered. They're within 4, 1 minute and 24 seconds to go here on the Red Dragon Sports Network.
24 remaining till halftime.
Yeah, this game just got a whole lot more interesting with a close score, and now we'll see how Tom Dempsey reacts to that previous pick, if he lost any confidence in what they'll have to adjust to.
And here we go to our interview with Coach McNeil about 30
The answer to third downs is what takes place on first and second down. It really is. Sometimes there isn't even any third downs in a game, you know what I mean? Because you're just not stopping them on first and second down. And then when they get to a third down, is it always 3rd and short for them, or is it 3rd and long, you know? Our defense played pretty stout, all right? And we've kept some people. They've had to stretch out those third downs pretty good. And offensively, I would say that there's times when our third downs aren't short enough, okay? And when they have been, we haven't performed. All right. When it's 3rd and 1, you got to get it. You know, you run the ball. You just got to get it. You got to bring your own blocker. You know what I mean? But you got to get it blocked up. And so there's no question that stat, from an offensive perspective viewpoint, is not pretty. It's an ugly stat. We got to get that thing fixed.
Cronin set to kick it away. Carney and Perez Tucker are back to return for Ithaca. Bombers raced out to an early 14-0 lead, and the Red Dragons have responded with 10 of their own. Line drive kick, fielded by Carney inside his own 5. Out to about the 20 and brought down.
Monstrous hit right there to take him down.
And there's an Ithaca player down over on the far side and able to get up now. It was number 3, Trayvon Perez Tucker, the other return man from Schenectady.
Second time today, Joe DeLuca has showed he's not just a defensive lineman. He can make some statements on special teams, and huge hit.
The penalty flag was back towards where the ball was kicked off. And it looks like they're going to call the Red Dragons for offside.
5-yard penalty, free kick.
So they'll have to re-kick regardless, and let's see. I believe that looks like it's number 2 instead of Trayvon Perez Tucker. Josh Oliver, I believe, is the other return man now.
That's a tough penalty, second re-kick of the day, and now this may be really helpful for the field goal or the field position battle in Ithaca's favor. We'll see what their return can look like.
Shane Cronitz at the re-kick.
Number 15, Joe DeLuca, right in the middle next to the kicker. Somebody you're going to want to watch for coming down the field right now.
Cronitz kick this time, looking for Oliver, who will field it at his own 6. Oliver on the return, able to get across the 20, able to keep himself up, but then the Red Dragons swarm to him and stop him from going any further. Ithaca will start from their own 25, looking
Tackle by number 1, Andrew Tolosi.
to re-stretch their lead that they've seen go away, but they've still hang on to a 4-point advantage thus far.
Yeah, right now, as I was saying, this is on Tom Dempsey right now. We got to see how he can respond to throwing that previous pick.
Here's the interview with Joe DeLuca.
Attributes to play a bunch of special teams, so I could play kickoff and punt, and field goal block. So that's fun. Maybe me an opportunity to play more, and obviously I'm going to take any opportunity I could get to play more.
First down for the Bombers. Dempsey back to pass. Slings out to the far side, and did not look good, but able to get up and make the catch. Joel Lynch hauled it in, and he looks okay for right now, but that did not look good.
It's never good when you see a knee bend what seemed to be the wrong way, but Joel Lynch able to come back.
Pressure coming, Dempsey scrambling out. Now he's just going to throw it away. Yeah, Jake Serezna on the near side, and also pressure from the far side as well. And it'll bring up 3rd down and 7. And the first game of the season when Cortland played Buffalo State, one of the broadcasters said if they ever saw Jake Serezna coming at him, he'd run the other way. And I wouldn't necessarily do that. I'd probably switch sides and hope that he was on my team instead.
Yeah, I mean, same goes for Troy Bedell. I mean, Troy Bedell coming on the backside right there. These Red Dragon linebacking core and defensive linemen, they're a scary bunch.
3rd and 7 for the Bombers. They need to get to the 35 to convert. Play clock down to 1. Able to get it off. Dempsey looking near side. It's hauled in by Buffoli. Brought down. He's got the first down.
Interesting choice right there by Richard Logano for the Red Dragons. Looked like he got to the ball right as it was being caught, and it looked like he could have made a play on it, maybe knocked it down, but went for the tackle, and still resulting first down for the Bombers.
Timeout Ithaca, 35 seconds to go in the half. That's the first one used by either team thus far. And a game that has really been fast-paced. Now Ithaca starting to up the tempo even more, trying to match Cortland's hurry-up offense there.
Yeah, I mean, they're not going hurry up as Cortland is. They're still huddling, but they're making it quick, fast-paced.
And here's our interview with Ithaca head coach Mike Wald.
You're probably more aware of life in general as a coach and how these experiences are. I think you're just a little bit more mature and recognize and be able to maybe enjoy it. I think as as young as you are as a player, it's a more intense emotion. You really can get wrapped up in it. And
First and 10 Bombers from the 37. Coach Welch won the Cortaca Jug once as a player during his time at Ithaca. Pressure coming, Dempsey flipping it out near side. It's hauled in by number 11, Chris Bauer. Cortland sideline thought he dropped it, but able to hang on.
Complete to number 11, Chris
Interesting
Bauer.
call. Looked like he would land it out of bounds as he caught that ball, but clearly not the case.
Another timeout called by the Bombers. They're able to get to the Cortland 46, so it'll bring up 2nd and 1. And they take timeout number 2.
Yes.
Bauer 2 receptions now for 18 yards.
Yeah, like we said earlier in the game, this Ithaca Bomber offense really relies on steady drives rather than the big play, and that's exactly what they're getting from their receivers, their fullback, and all the assets to their offense.
.24 seconds, only one timeout left for the Bombers. They're going to have to come up with some play that gets them down the field relatively quickly.
Second down and 1.
Second and 1 out of the timeout. Dempsey back to pass. Rolls out. Has his man to the 45. A first down, and it's Joel Lynch once again. That knee's fine.
Dempsey's pass complete to number 1.
It looks like the
Joel
Red
Lynch.
Dragons switched up their defense,
First and
going to
10
more of a
Bombers.
cover rather than bringing the pressure on him, and he had all day right there.
And the Bombers just going to come up to the line of scrimmage and spike the ball with 16 seconds to go.
Yeah, Tom Dempsey is much
Dempsey
too talented
with the
of a
spike.
quarterback to
Second
give
down.
him that amount of time in the pocket, and he's going to continue to hurt the Red Dragons if if the pressure's not put on.
Tom Dempsey, the starter a year ago, endured the Cortaca win for the Red Dragons in a game where Ithaca, heavily favored, of course, came in with only one loss, and Red Dragons with John Babin able to get the late touchdown that sealed the deal. Dempsey back to pass on 2nd down. Looking for the home run ball, going deep, incomplete.
Again, a lot of time back there. Looked like he was looking for Chris Bauer right there. A nice play by Chris Bauer to knock the ball down.
Dempsey's
Sometimes
pass
when
is
you're the
incomplete.
receiver and
Coming from
you
number 11,
notice that
Chris
you're not
Bauer.
in the right position, you have to become the defender and
Coverage
make
provided
sure
by number
that's
31,
not a
Tyler
pick.
Anderson. 3rd down and 10.
Take another look, top of your screen.
A lot of time again.
Going up there looking for his receiver to make the play. And it brings up 3rd and 10 for Ithaca. 10 seconds to go, so even if they turn the ball over and Cortland does get the ball back, probably won't have a chance to go downfield. Play clock was close to expiring. Dempsey back to pass. Pressure coming. Serezna, he's hit. He's going, picked off! Troy Bedell around midfield, and the Red Dragons are going to get it
Dempsey's
back.
pass intercepted by number 52,
Yeah, I mean,
Troy Beto.
poor decision right there by Tom Dempsey. He clearly panicked in the backfield, and it's a good day for Troy Bedell, getting a nice little pick.
Here we'll take another look. Dempsey's going to get pressured on the near side from Serezna. On the far side, that's Gabe Ostro, and it lands right in the breadbasket of Troy Bedell.
Yeah, I mean, Troy Bedell is the worst nightmare for many quarterbacks. He's got 8.5 tackles for a loss in the year, 4 sacks, and now an interception.
2 seconds to go before the half. And I'm not sure, I figured the Red Dragons here, you got a lot of momentum one way or another. Maybe you just take the knee going to the locker room down 4, but hey, you want to take one shot at the end zone. Certainly got the arm to do it.
Yeah, I think this is the time in the game where you take the knee, head into the locker room, decide some changes for next half, and but right now a timeout. Looks like they're going to be going for all the money.
And the Red Dragons call their first timeout of the afternoon.
Troy Badeau, I mean, big player for the Red Dragons. Obviously, could have came at a better time. Only 2 seconds left. Doesn't give you many options. But last year, in the Ithaca, the Cortaca Jug game last year, he had 9 tackles and a sack.
First and 10, Red Dragons.
First down for the Red Dragons. 2 seconds to go before the half. 4 wide receivers, 3 on the near side. They're going to take a chance. Ball's out, but it's incomplete. As hit as he threw it was number 10, Joe McDermott. And that will do it.
Joe McDermott's pass is incomplete.
For the half, 14-10 Ithaca. As both teams head into the locker rooms. Corey, your thoughts on the first half?
The Ithaca offense looked like it was really working things out. 2 turnovers clearly hurt them. But
the first half of play.
I think the Ithaca offense, if they can continue what they started in the first half, it's going to be a good second half of that. The Red Dragon offense, some adjustments may need to be made. They may need to switch more to the passing game rather than focusing on the run, but should be a very interesting second half.
And it started off looking like Ithaca was going to run away with it, but the Red Dragons have really stepped up. 2 interceptions, a defense that really doesn't force too many turnovers. As far as the season went on, we saw more, just third down stops that they were relying on. Now, taking advantage of what Ithaca's giving them, and certainly a positive, turned into 10 unanswered points here, and they're going to look to build on that in the second half.
Yeah, and I mean, 2 interceptions for a quarterback that's only thrown 6 on that prior to this game had only thrown 6 on the year, and 3 of them were in 1 game against Buffalo State. So we'll see how Mr. Dempsey can respond in the second half.
But Ithaca's still up by 4. We take it down to the field where Keith Corder is with Ithaca coach Mike Welch.
Coach, you guys you have the lead right now. You're playing a great game, doing especially a great job defensively stopping the run. How do you continue that success in the second half?
Well, we're going to have to. I thought that you're right. Our defense is playing very, very well. Turnovers certainly changed the game, and one particular turnover it did. So, we got to take care of the football.
You're on the road. You have the lead in a hostile environment. What are you telling the guys in the locker room to keep it going?
Yeah, it's composure. It's the Cortaca Jug game, so they know exactly what they're in for. This is what happens. So keep our composure and get back to playing one play at a time.
Coach, thank you. Good luck.
You're welcome.
Back to you, Cody.
I got it.
So from there, we will take it. CSTV has provided us with a nice commercial for the halftime show. That's where we'll send you for halftime.
Hoping future Cortaca games are less about the partying and more about the football.
When Cortaca comes around, everyone comes together, everyone's having a good time.
There were some people living up here who were afraid to leave their homes.
As many know, a sea of students flooded the streets of Cortland at a celebration following the victory over rival Ithaca College. But because of images of violence and inappropriate behavior in the media, Cortland students were unfairly judged. It's clear to many that November 16th of 2013 did not accurately portray Cortland students in their entirety. But for the rest of you skeptics out there, 20 CSTV wanted to take this opportunity to showcase the many facets of life as a SUNY Cortland student. Cortland has become our life for the 4 short years that we reside here, and it's our duty and responsibility to give back to the community that has so generously shared its home with us. Let's show the community what it means to be a true Red Dragon. The Cortland community is actively involved in what partakes on the college campus, and one of their major contributions in the past few years was to commend the construction of the facility behind me, the state-of-the-art Student Life Center. Let's go check it out. It's been 2 years since construction started, and this coming spring the new Student Life Center will open. Costing just over $50 million, this state-of-the-art facility will have a vast array of physical recreation activities as well as a variety of social spaces. It's designed to be just more than a place to go work out. Using the slogan, "Something for Everyone," the SLC will be a place where students can hang out and socialize. Although there's still work to be done, this unique facility is designed to provide high-quality recreational services to SUNY Cortland students. Among the amenities include the Bistro, a new all-you-can-eat dining facility that can seat up to 300 students at a time. A multi-activity court with rounded corners for basketball, volleyball, badminton, and indoor soccer. A suspended jogging track that will consist of 3 lanes that will cover 1/5 of a mile. A recreational swimming pool with 6 lanes, a resistance walk, and a 25-person hot tub. A 40-foot climbing wall and boulder wall. The SLC will be open from 6 in the morning until midnight during the week and to 2 a.m. on the weekends. The hope is that these times will provide students with an alternative to the party scene.
I think it has the chance to improve the quality of life more than anything else we've ever done on this campus. And it will be an alternative to going downtown and all the destructive kinds of things you get involved in. You know, to be involved in good, clean, wholesome, healthy kinds of things is something that we strive to have our students participate in.
Anticipation continues to build as the facility nears completion. As construction finishes, the SLC is poised to be an excellent addition to educational experience here on the SUNY Cortland campus. Even on overcast days, such as today, SUNY Cortland students are gathered inside the Grace and Holy Spirit Church, awaiting to participate in the 2014 annual Crop Walk event. Let's go check it out. Members of the SUNY Cortland College and the community came together to help build a healthier world by participating in the annual Crop Hunger Walk. This walk is an ideal opportunity for SUNY Cortland clubs, sports teams, sororities, and fraternities to come together with the community and share a meaningful experience while benefiting a worthy cause. The fraternity Theta Chi has raised almost $500 for the crop walk, and 20 CSTV interviewed Josh Citron, a member of Theta Chi, to hear what he had to say about the event.
The community does a lot to welcome in college students and treat them like family for the 4 years that they're here, so it's good to prove that we can give something back to them.
With more and more students getting involved each day, students like Josh aren't hard to come by here at SUNY Cortland. It just goes to show that hundreds are willing to go the extra mile, even if it means volunteering their time to improve the place they call home. In addition to community service events, students have been involved with several ongoing projects with communications professor Dr. Carolyn Kultefleiter, in particular the Wickwire Pool Project.
Wickwire Pool Project originated in the spring of 2012. To save the Wickwire Pool, it was going to require a $1 million campaign. The students were so jazzed to get involved that we created the template, and it was time is running out, save the Wickwire Pool. For the next 2 years, the students worked on creative media, we used social media, and we used everything that we had in terms of our communication skills as well as just getting out into the community, interfacing with people. When all of these actions are added together, they really do make a difference.
After attending SUNY Cortland for just a few short years, you begin to recognize the vital role that the community plays alongside the campus. For those alumni who decide to return the favor and invest in the community are those who truly demonstrate Red Dragon pride. 20 CSTV sat down with several local alumni to discuss their time at SUNY Cortland and their decision to permanently make Cortland their home. Harry and Mary Alice Bellardini met in the community while pursuing their degrees over 50 years ago.
When we came back, I got the job, so we've been here ever since.
It was a no-brainer to want to come back here.
More recently, Paul Mangiamelli decided to stay in Cortland to open up the newest business on Main Street.
Me going to school here, staying here, I live on Main Street. I started, Long Island Bagel on Main Street. We have all Boar's Head meats. We are bringing a superior bagel. We're really trying to focus on quality here on Main Street, and I think the reception that we've gotten has been unbelievably positive. And that was our goal, to positively impact Cortland.
And Steve Woodard, the football captain during the notorious 1988 Cortaca Jug game, is now married to his Cortland sweetheart and has been actively involved within the local school districts for years. Each year, Steve and his family look forward to celebrating Cortaca within the community.
My coaching and teaching experience has always been within the area, within 10 to 20 minutes from the city of Cortland. Every year, folks have a good time and come back and want to celebrate with alumni and make the game a part of that. But I think there's much more positive that comes out of it than the negative.
With Steve once being an active member of the Cortland football team, he understands the significance of the long-lasting tradition of the Cortaca Jug game. While last year's riots weren't symbolic of our students' behavior, senior sports analyst Robert Gom can fill us in on the true meaning of Cortaca.
Thank you, Justine. The Cortaca Jug game has been a staple of the Cortland campus and community since 1959. Let's take a trip back and review this historic rivalry throughout the years.
Since 1930, SUNY Cortland and Ithaca College have come together to compete at what Sports Illustrated has dubbed the biggest little game in the nation. The annual Cortaca Jug game was officially introduced in 1959 after Cortland football captain Tom Decker purchased the jug for just $2 at a local yard sale in Homer, New York. Decker paired up with Dick Carmine, captain of Ithaca College football, in what would change the lives of Bombers and Red Dragons for years to come. Each game has had its own set of high stakes, but the 1988 game proved to be one of the most pivotal Cortaca Jug matchups in history. With the two undefeated teams closing out their regular seasons, Ithaca traveled to Cortland with playoff implications on the line. Cortland defeated Ithaca 21-20 in the Jug. Ithaca came up with the win in the playoffs on their way to their 1988 national championship run. The excitement of this game put Cortaca on the map and has only grown from there. Over the years, much has changed, but the tradition of this historical rivalry lives on.
Very few schools or other teams in the country that enjoy such a long-standing, such a highly promoted rivalry, and it is something special.
The main focus is the game and just to give this university a win.
Yeah, we're on a 4-peat right now, and I want to be on a 5-peat, so I'm excited.
It is important to keep special around.
I'm Justine Marshner reporting live with 20CS TV at Stadium Red on the 56th annual Cortaca Jug game. We hope your perspective of the Cortland students has changed for the better. Go Red Dragons, and now back to Cody in the booth.
We're here up in the booth, and joining us now is SUNY Cortland President Eric Bitterbaum. President Bitterbaum, certainly every year the Cortaca Jug game always important. What does it mean to both colleges and maybe even specifically SUNY Cortland?
3 years is the Cortaca Jug, and there's just a great spirit around this game, and it really doesn't matter who has won in the past. It reminds me of the Army-Navy game, so it doesn't matter what your record is coming into this game. All new plays are even developed for this game. You saw one in the first half that we ran that I had never seen before this year, and I'm sure Ithaca has something up its sleeve as well.
And certainly, as president and joining us for interviews and whatnot, you've been able. We saw you down on the field. You'll go through the crowd. You got the suite. You get to see all the angles. What's that like?
Well, there's tremendous energy and pride in the college, and I'm sure the same would be true on the other side. But Cortland has won this game 4 years in a row. It's quite extraordinary, and we hope that this year that everything goes well. We had some bumps in the road last year.
Yeah, and we talked about that a little bit. It was a big point in the press conference and in some of the interviews and whatnot. It seemed like the party became bigger than the game, which should never happen.
Right. Really what we want to happen is have people enjoy themselves, have a great time, but do it respectfully in a civil manner. Celebrate our school and our football team, but do it appropriately.
And certainly, as we see at the half, Ithaca leads at 14-10. We hope you'll stay with us here for at least the beginning part of the third quarter and help us break down some of the action as well. We'll show you some highlights as well. And as we do, President Bitterbaum.
I'm pleased to be here.
What can you tell? Actually, so many different programs going on as well that weren't offered in the past few years, certainly to keep students involved and whatnot. What can you say about that?
Well, I'll tell you what I'm most impressed with is how the student body stepped up. They themselves were embarrassed by what occurred last year. And as you know, they, out of our student fees, your student fees, sequestered $50,000. They brought in tonight will be a well-known group called White Panda, and then they put aside $20,000 worth of prizes, big screen TVs, iPads. So you have to be there at the concert. But they made quite a commitment that they want this to go off in a very pleasant and what we would say upbeat manner.
So you hear that, students? Certainly go out to the concert, win yourself some prizes, and now for future Cortaca games, is this something that they plan to keep in effect?
You know, it's a good suggestion. You know, I like some of the new things that both the city and the university working together. I think you'll see some of those things maintain themselves. I can't speak for the student body, but they have a lot to be proud about, and we'll suggest something similar for the future.
And aside from the Cortaca rivalry, the Student Life Center is about to be completed to begin next semester. I'm sure you've had the chance to tour it a little bit and get the inside feel of it. Can you talk to that?
I can. I will tell you, it is extraordinary. It is so big. I've overheard students call it the Beast, and the Beast is big, and people will be able to eat there and study there. It's a wellness center, athletic. I think the focus of the campus is going to shift there. It would not surprise me that 4,000 or 5,000 students will use it on a daily basis, and even our faculty and staff. I intend to go down and walk the track, maybe swim. The cardiovascular areas. It's extraordinary. Students just can't wait to come back in January to see what's there.
Certainly looking forward to it as well. The stadium complex, now that, and certainly it just keeps getting better and better. New construction all the time, whether it's something we know about as students or something that's completely unplanned. I mean, we saw the construction outside Corey Union that they did.
Well, I have some more good news. We received a gift from Senator Jim Seward, and we're going to be able to do all new tennis courts and basketball courts outside. So in the spring, we'll be able to redo everything in that area. And of course, it's open to the community as well.
And we'll send it to Keith Corder, who's with Coach Dan McNeil.
It started the game, you guys were in a little bit of a hole. You got the last 10 points. Looks like you got a comeback going on. What do you got to do to keep that going?
Well, I mean, you're right. We've climbed back into it. We just got to keep climbing and keep that momentum. Started slow. The other team had a lot to do with that. Got a classic battle on our hands. It's just got to be a clean football game. You know what I mean? It just really does. And so turnovers right now have been key. Took a score away from us and set up a score, and then ours set up a score for us. So, that's really what it comes down to, and that's what football games are.
You're getting great pressure on the opponent quarterback right now. How important is that for your defense?
Well, there's two things about it. I think we're mixing our coverage up well, which is not letting him get the ball out, and then obviously we can close in on him. So, yeah, I agree with you. We got to continue to play with him and not sure what he's got, because he's pretty good, and I think the indecision is what's the most important thing.
Coach, best of luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Thank you. Back to you, Cody.
Thanks again, Keith. We'll take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Again, Ithaca leading 14-10. This is how they got there.
For today's Cortland Athletics 50-50 raffle. The winning number is...
This is the nice fake, and then Ben Carey able to go untouched into the end zone. That was the first score and really set the tone for Ithaca early on. Looked like they were going to run out to a huge lead, especially after Josh Oliver took the carry in to the corner of the end zone, put him up 14-0, but then momentum started to change a little bit. The offense, Peebles finding the hole and taking it all the way to the house. Got Cortland within a touchdown, and then they kept working away against the Ithaca defense, forcing some turnovers. Here's the first half stats. Ithaca certainly leading rushing yards. Passing yards relatively close, but Ithaca still holds the edge. Total yards even closer, only a 46-yard difference, but the two turnovers could cost Ithaca. We'll see here in the second half. Penalties pretty close, but the amount as far as yards really hurting the Bombers, and time of possession pretty close as well, Corey. Not something we really pictured coming into this game.
Yeah, something big to take a note on is, I believe you said very early in the first half how the Bombers were already at 100 yards. And the Red Dragon defense has stepped up since the beginning of the second quarter. They've really slowed down this Bombers offense and has been able to come up with two turnovers.
And that sign that's right there for a second, I'm going to break that down. It says vote Babin. That's John Babin, the wide receiver. The Cortland mayor is Brian Tobin. So just a little bit of work to that sign, and you've got the ability to spell Babin. And certainly he's been a focus so far in this game. He's got 3 receptions so far. Only needs 1 more to tie the Cortland record, 2 more to break it. And what a huge deal that could be in addition to this being the Cortaca game.
Yeah, John Grassi clearly feels very comfortable with Babin, as he has in past years. And Babin he's a hard-working wide receiver. You know he's going to run the route to the best of his abilities, and that guy's got hands. He can catch pretty much anything, and once he gets the ball in his hands, yards after a catch is another big thing that he's able to come up with. So, yeah, this second half, it might be John Babin time.
And Ithaca's offense certainly able to move the ball around as well, giving it to all different receivers. Vito Buffoli's gotten in on the action, Ben Carey, Chris Bauer, Joel Lynch. Certainly what we expected as far as the passing game for the Bombers.
Yeah, a lot of quick outside routes. It looked like the Red Dragons, their defense, they were switching between a cover 4 and a 2-deep zone, and then at one point they went to a nice man-to-man and were blitzing quite often. We'll see how that comes up in the second half.
We'll be right back here on the Red Dragon Sports Network with the start of the second half. Stick around.
Have a desire to learn? Want to have an experience of a lifetime? The State University of New York at Cortland is just that. Nestled in central New York, SUNY Cortland is a beautiful campus that covers over 190 acres with 30 traditional and modern buildings. We offer 60 undergraduate majors along with 38 minors from which to choose. The school has more than 7,200 wonderful students, all with a desire to better themselves. Come take a look at SUNY Cortland and seize the moment, feel the momentum.
And we're back here. Red Dragons set to kick it away with Shane Cronin. Back to return is still Josh Oliver in for Trayvon Perez Tucker, and back with him as well as Sam Carney. Some quick updates from other games. William Patterson leads Southern Virginia 10-0 in the second quarter. Hartwick leads Utica 3-0 in the first quarter. Buffalo State leads Brockport 6-0 in the first quarter. Salisbury leads Frostburg State 6-0 in the first quarter. And in the Dutchman Shoes game, the big rivalry back in the Capital Region, it's a tie score at 14 between Union and RPI in the second quarter.
A lot of big games going on today, and we got the benefit of watching one of the biggest.
Joining us once again, SUNY Cortland President Dr. Eric Bitterbaum, who's going to stick around and give his insight to the game here on some of the plays that go down in the third quarter.
Very pleased that we were able to come back. If we can get some key momentum here very early on, I think it'll be a very different game the rest of the half.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think momentum, it's a huge factor when you have such an emotional game as we have here today, and we'll see if the Red Dragons can start out nicely on the defensive end and, as you said, get some of that momentum.
Right, I think it's critical. If we can stop them and score, whether it's a field goal or a touchdown, I think it's a whole new ball game.
I fully agree.
So it was a close game at the half a year ago at Butterfield Stadium in Ithaca. And it's close once again. We'll see how the second half goes, and if it's anything like the last two, everybody is in for a show. And Cronin kicks it away, and we're ready to begin the second half. It takes a bounce and dives right around the 18-yard line. Carney able to pick it up, but trips on the turf, and so the Ithaca drive will start from their own 20.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Ithaca can rebound right now. They haven't scored since almost 12 minutes left to go in the second quarter, and the last two scores have been for the Red Dragons. So we'll see if they can bounce back after a few of those turnovers and the lack of scoring.
Another flag on the play in the direction of where Cortland kicked the ball off.
Offside, kicking team number 41, 5-yard penalty, re-kick.
That's a second offside for this kickoff unit today for the Red Dragons, and that's just unacceptable. Here on your special teams, you guys got to they need to be focused to the point where these small infractions are not going to cost them.
If I heard him correctly, he said it was on number 39. That's Shane Cronin, the kicker. So I'm wondering if he crossed the 35 just before he struck the ball. I'd never seen an offsides call on a kickoff go against the kicker. So they'll back him up 5 yards, and now the Red Dragons will have to kick off from the 30. Certainly beneficial for the Bombers.
Yeah, the field position battle today has been heavily in favor of the Ithaca Bombers, and it's been helping them out in the whole scoring category of the game, and we'll see, as I said earlier, if they can come back from not scoring since 12 minutes left to go in the second quarter.
So Cronin's going to try it again. Line drive kick, fielded by Oliver at his own 13. Brings it out and able to get through the 30. He's out across the 40 and finally tripped up. Cronin relied on to make the final stop, and he came up with the ball.
With the return.
But Oliver was down, so it'll stay Bomber football to begin the third quarter.
Gotta love when you see the kicker come up and make a nice stick like that. Nicely done.
Here we'll take another look. Oliver fields it, and he's going to run into a wall of people. Red Dragons, Bombers, and somehow able to break that tackle there by Carson Lassiter. Bounces to the outside before being brought down. 1st and 10 Bombers from their own 43. Dempsey under center. And the give for the first time today is to John Iannone, the junior from North Andover. And President Bitterbaum certainly just a simple run up the middle there on that one, trying to move the ball down the field.
Right. You know, the observation I would make about the previous play is their number 2, though not very large physically, is an extraordinary runner and a very physical runner. So we were lucky to get him on that play.
2nd and 6 for the Bombers. Play clock down to 10. Dempsey back to pass, looking near side, incomplete. Able to get a hand on it was Mark Del Preti, the sophomore. And just like that, it's 3rd down for the Bombers, where the Red Dragons have been really, really good this season. Probably one of the strongest areas of this Red Dragons unit.
Mark Del Preti has had a pretty good game today. He's come up big on a few knockdowns, some nice tackles, and we'll see if he can consistently continue to do this. And another thing I noticed is Tom Dempsey, when he gets back to snap the ball, he does a bit of a fake cadence and sees if he can draw any of the Red Dragon blitzing packages, and he's been able to. And once he understands where they're coming from, he's been able to adjust the play and go to their weak spot.
And Ithaca forced to burn a timeout early in the 3rd quarter. The play clock was down to 4 seconds. So Cortland certainly getting an advantage there if this one comes down to the wire. And you can just see this Ithaca offense has really had trouble getting it going again since, as you said, halfway through the 2nd quarter when they went up 14-0. It's been pretty much all Cortland since then.
The Cortland College Foundation and Central City Bar and Grill. SUNY Cortland Athletics is hosting its first ever silent
here's our interview with Ithaca defensive back Sam Carney talking about the emotions involved in the Cortaca game.
Let's fill up the gym for a great.
I mean, I think it's one of those things where you're happy you were in it. You know, so 4 years is a lifetime, and you know the whole college experience is awesome. College football has been awesome, and this rivalry has kind of been a capstone of that. So.
Yeah, the ball back changed the momentum. We have a real ball game here.
3rd and 7 for the Bombers. Dempsey back to pass. All kinds of time over the middle, incomplete, tipped.
Well,
oh my goodness, another possibility for an interception there as it was batted around. I think it hit 3 different Red Dragons.
Another tip drop by Vito Buffoli, one of the star receivers for this Bombers offense. Something very irregular that you're seeing today.
Dempsey looking over the middle. He was trying to hook up with Vito Buffoli.
Number 82,
And
Caleb
the Bombers are
Bennett,
forced to
back
punt it
deep
away.
I love seeing Jake Serezna, regardless of if he gets the sack or makes the quarterback get out of the pocket, he is always putting some pressure on that quarterback, and it's clearly getting to Tom Dempsey.
You notice there they kicked away from our receiver. I think they're very nervous what's about to occur.
We've talked about the return game, especially on kickoffs. Cortland, one of the best in the country. And punt, just as dangerous as well. Different guys, but they'll get it done any way they can.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, when you're fourth in the nation in kick returns, that's something that the opposing team is definitely going to notice.
Grassi on the field. First play of the second half for the Red Dragons is a give to Dylan Peebles, who's out to about the 25. Game 3.
Interesting. We really didn't see much of Dylan Peebles in that first half until the very end, and he's coming back out and starting the second half. I think that's the correct decision.
Do you like this platooning of the quarterbacks going between 14 and 17? What do you think?
I think switching between the quarterback in this case is
Peebles
it's a
once
bold
again.
move. They're very two different types of style
Flag on the
quarterbacks. It worked great earlier because for the most part, Lubushi is going to run the ball.
Right.
And that's something that the Bombers took notice of. And when he threw he fake ran and dropped the pass, worked out for a great first down on a fourth down conversion. So right now it seems to be the right call.
There's a good run there by Dylan Peebles, but it's going to come back. As the Red Dragons are called for a block in the back, and certainly not what you want, is that's going to back them up all the way to their own 15. It'll bring up second down and 17.
Yeah, right now the Red Dragons clearly distinguishedly ahead of the Bombers in penalty yards and penalties today, and it's affected multiple drives.
Bushy back to pass. He's going to sling it out to the far side for KJ Zinnerman. And Zinnerman's pickup is minimal at best. It'll bring up a long third down for the Red Dragons.
Forced out of bounds by number 9, Malik Morris.
Going back to you, President Bitterbaum, looks like there might have been
Gain
some
of 1
adjustments
play,
made in the
31.
Ithaca locker room. Now that Bushy's in, they realize he can throw the ball. And right there, well-defended pass by the Bombers defense.
You're absolutely correct.
Grassi back to pass. He's going to sling it out for Delahunty on the far side, who's going to get close to the original line of scrimmage, but that's all. So the Bombers respond by forcing a 3-and-out of their own, and we'll see Shane Cronin again.
Jack Delahunty with the
a name
reception.
we're used to talking about very frequently and has not been brought up
Tackle made
today.
by number 22,
Maybe
Sam Carney.
get some more use of
Number 9, Malik
Delahunty
Morris.
throughout this game. And I'd like to thank you,
6-yard
President
gain, fourth
Bitterbaum,
down
for
and
joining
10.
us right now. Good luck with the Red Dragons.
As we reach the 12-minute mark here in the third quarter, Cronin lines up to punt. Carney
Shane
back
Cronin
to
set the punt for the Red
return.
Dragons. Carney back deep for the Bombers.
It's a low snap. Cronin had to scoop it up off the turf. He's able to get off a decent punt that's going to take a huge Cortland bounce. This one's going to land inside the 25 before being downed by Chandler Williams. And flags fly again. There's a penalty marker out by midfield.
Yeah, the punt bounces have really been in Cortland's favor today. Multiple times getting a significant amount of yards off of them.
As we await the call from Joe Caruso, currently the Bombers drive would start from their own 23. And we'll see if it's going to back them up or move them closer to midfield. What do you have for us, Joe?
After the play, personal foul, Ithaca number 44. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
The Red Dragons getting penalties that are stalling drives. This is the second personal foul in Ithaca that's definitely coming on and starting to hurt them.
And not counting that one, here was the penalty yards. Cortland had more. Now they're even, and Ithaca certainly, they've got 3 personal foul calls already this game. And we talked with Sam Carney about what it means. You have to stay disciplined in a rivalry game, and Ithaca's not. 3 penalties have already gone for 15 yards each, and that adds up quickly. They're backed up to their own 12. Dempsey fakes the handoff. Has his man out by the 20. And Chris Bauer able to haul in another one. He's been busy for the Ithaca Bombers. We thought that, Vito Buffoli would be the main target, Joel Lynch, but Chris Bauer really getting the job done for this receiving corps.
Yeah, I personally love that route that Chris Bauer just ran. A nice little button hook or a comeback route. It's been really effective for the Bombers today, and something that I think is underused by most teams.
2nd and 1 for the Bombers. 2 backs in the backfield. Dempsey's give is to Oliver, who powers through close to first down yardage. And he'll have it out to the Ithaca 23.
It's interesting, something you see in this game today and you don't always see in every game that you watch on TV, but this play does not end until the whistles are blown many times. There is serious blocking, serious pushing and shoving. These two teams, a lot of emotion out in that field right now.
So the Bombers pick up the first down of the second half, and the give is to Oliver. Out across the 25, maybe got to the 26.
Josh Oliver once again.
Bring up 2nd and 8.
LaRoe and Ceresna team up to make the tackle.
Yeah. As we take another look. Just a simple give up the middle, able to break one tackle there. And then gang tackled once again by this Red Dragons defense.
Although it wasn't a large game, it's very impressive how hard Josh Oliver hits the hole every single time he's given the ball.
2nd and 7, it's a give up the middle. And staying on his feet is the fullback,
Number 40,
Ben Carey, who has the receiving touchdown already. He's able to power forward for a couple of yards. It'll bring up 3rd
Number 9, Matt Ambrose.
and close to 5.
Yeah, it's looking like Ben Carey's trying to take some pages out of the Marshawn Lynch book. Let's get everybody wrapping him up and still pushing that pile forward. Nice run. Powerful.
Dempsey over the century mark for the day. 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Buffoli 39 yards receiving. 3rd and 4, Dempsey back to pass. He's got his man, that's Oliver out of the backfield, but he's not going to get the first down.
So that was a poor decision right there by Oliver. If he continued going the way that the route was taking him, he probably could have gotten to that first down marker, but because he is the type of player that likes to get the big play, he tried to make a nice cutback to a wide open lane, and that's what slowed him down and stopped him.
Gain of 2, as able to come in and make the stop was number 20, Chandler Williams. So the Bombers punt it away again. Bettis back to field it, and he'll call for a fair catch at his own 32. Dragons looking to find more points and cut the gap, maybe even take the lead. They haven't had it yet. 8:28 remains in the 3rd quarter here on the Red Dragon Sports Network.
2 very nice stops by Red Dragon defense so far in this half, and something that the offense really needs to take and motivate them. Maybe push the Bombers back a little bit, start winning this possession drive, and we'll see.
Grassi with the pitch to Providence out of the backfield, and he'll be wrapped up and brought down. Got to about the 34. Short gain.
I mean, the Ithaca Bomber defense today has been all over the Cortland run, and it's been tough for them to push the ball forward.
2nd and 9 for Cortland, and once again, Lou Bushy's back into the game at quarterback. And he's going to take it himself, trying to go up the middle, but he met a wall whose name is Schneider Termador, number 92 for the Ithaca Bombers.
Yeah, phenomenal tackle. He had his linebackers right at his back, ready to really fill that hole right there.
Number 91, Robert Barbieri. Number 92, Schneider Termador.
There it is. They tried to fake to Providence, but Bombers weren't fooled at all. And another long third down coming up for the Red Dragons. Grassi back to pass. Fires to the far side. Able to complete the pass, but a huge hit came from number 30, Noah Poskanzer. And Josh Riley hauled it in. That's the tight end who's made a big difference for the Red Dragons, but he's well short here. And Cortland forced to punt once again.
Impressive catch by Riley right there, although it didn't go for the first down, but Poskanzer really put a lick on him, and nicely done on both sides. Clearly in favor of Ithaca, though. Yeah, right now today, third down is killing the Red Dragons. On their usual 28%, they are 0 for 9 on the day.
Cronin gets the punt away. This one's just a bouncer that's going to roll inside the 30. The Bombers came close to blocking, and he's able to get it all the way down to the 25-yard line before it's down. And that was what we talked with Coach Dan McNeil about, was third down. There's a drastic difference between the Cortland offense and the Cortland defense as far as succeeding on third down, and it's only getting worse right now. Red Dragons need to dig themselves out of a hole if they want to get back into it. Third down conversion certainly is a place to start.
Yeah, and the toughest part is the Red Dragons tend to leave themselves in third and long. That's third and 9, third and 8, third and 7, and it's adding up.
First down, Bombers. 6:31 to go. Dempsey rolls out, pressure coming, then he's just going to throw it out of bounds.
Dempsey's pass is incomplete.
Although the Red Dragon offense is not producing as I stated would have been a key to the game for them, this defense has put the pressure on quarterback Tom Dempsey, and it's clearly getting to his head. He's throwing balls away that he normally would have ran for a first down for that we would have saw in the first half.
The 6', 230-pound Jesse Scannell was right there trying to track down Dempsey. 2nd and 10. And the give is up the middle to Oliver, and he is brought down
Josh Oliver
after a short gain.
Andrew Pelosi and Matt Ambrose.
Joe DeLuca hustling off the field after...
Defense, obviously, we want to show up before we have to make a big play in those situations. We'd rather just lock it up early in the game, but we do have great confidence in our defense, to show up and make a big play when we need it. They were driving last year. It could have ended in a touchdown. We would have lost, but we forced a fumble. 2012, we had a...
That was Joe DeLuca right there. 3rd and 8 for the Bombers. Red Dragons defense looking to keep the success rate up. Dempsey back to pass. Fires, got his man across the 30, but he's brought down. It was number 1, Andrew Tolosi, making the stop, and the Bombers are going to be forced to punt once again. They got it to the 31, still 4 yards short.
4-yard gain, 4th down and 4.
Andrew Tolosi, phenomenal defender for the Red Dragon. He has played in every single Cortaca game since he came to this college, and he clearly is making a statement. Nicely done by Tolosi. Big stop.
On to punt it away once again, number 80, Michael Lopez. And back to return is Caleb Bettis, who calls for a fair catch and hauls it in at the Cortland 35. Neither team able to move the ball effectively here in the second half. We'll see. The defense really stepping up on both sides. Ithaca has the only first down. Maybe Cortland's able to get something going here. But what game we've got. I mean, you look at these teams on paper. You've got one team in Ithaca who looks, and they're always a contender, no doubt about that. They look like a dominant team. And Cortland has really been able to play with them so far as they run a screen pass out of the backfield to Brian Providence, who's able to get out near the 40-yard line to about the 39, a gain of 4.
Yeah, Providence, not a name or a player we're used to seeing for this Red Dragon team. Last week, Providence went 18 carries for 84 yards in the win versus William Patterson. May have given him the opportunity.
Grassi going deep, and he's picked off. looking for Delahunty. Instead, he found the hands of Malik Morris, the junior from New Hyde Park, who we talked to the Ithaca SID about. Teams have decided not to attack Sam Carney, instead go to Malik Morris, and he makes him pay.
Yeah, Malik Morris, one of the most surprising players for this Bombers team this year, and consistently stepping up, making big plays like that.
1st and 10 Bombers.
He just goes up and gets it, as Delahunty thought it was going to fall right in his lap. So the Bombers take over at their own 32.
It's a defensive bout right now. We'll see what the Red Dragons defense can come back and do.
Now both teams at 2 turnovers apiece. The give is to Oliver on 1st and 10, and he's brought down. You know, Jake Seresna, whenever he comes in on tackle, he's just such a tall guy that it looks like he just kind of jumps on the back and over the top and everything.
Tackle by number 90, Jake Seresna. 4 yards on the play, 2nd and 6.
Here's another look. Maybe you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. There's Oliver, and then Jake Seresna just boom.
Between Jake Seresna and the rest of that defensive line, the Red Dragons defense is a serious force.
2nd and 6. Bombers in the pistol formation. The give to Oliver, running to the far side. He's across the 40, close to the first down with that second effort.
Josh Oliver today has ran like a man on a mission. He is one of the smallest guys on that field, and he is breaking tackles, taking hits, hitting the hole harder than anybody else. Something that the Red Dragons really need to take note of, because he's going to run through your arm tackles, and he's really been a force today.
How much the momentum could swing if Ithaca's able to capitalize on the interception. And here the give to Iannone goes nowhere. Maybe a yard backwards.
Yeah, that Red Dragon defensive line really stuffing the holes right there with some help from the linebacking core. They really nicely done.
Tackle by number 54, Joe.
Here's another look. Gets right up to the line of scrimmage, and there's a wall.
Yeah, I mean, on both sides, it's really been the defensive line versus the offensive line battle that's been the biggest thing in changing this game today.
2nd and 10. High snap, Dempsey able to corral it. The give now is the number 33, Tristan Brown. And he's brought down, able to get across the 45.
Ball carried by number 33, Tristan Brown.
And we'll take a look. He's led the team as far as rushing, but they decided to go exclusively with Oliver today.
5-yard gain.
Good run by Tristan Brown, but I believe Oliver is the go-to guy today, and he's proved himself worthy of that role.
3rd and 5 as we hit the 2-minute mark in the 3rd quarter. Red Dragons looking to come up with another stop. Play clock down to 5. Dempsey going near side, and he's got his man wide open inside the 20. Cuts back 15, inside the 10 before being brought down by Carson Lassiter. Chris Bauer, the man who we talked about, who has really stepped up. Another reception, big play.
Yeah, I mean, right there, it looked like he was going to do that comeback round as we spoke about earlier, and just took it down the field wide open, blown coverage.
Here's another look at it. Bottom of your screen, and there's no one near him.
Yeah, it looks like a miscommunication between Della Prenti and Lassiter right there. Not quite sure who is supposed to take him in that spot, and that will be his 4th reception of the day.
1st and goal for the Bombers. The give is to Tristan Brown, and we've got a penalty flag that flies. It came in from the referee, Joe Caruso.
Yeah, in the back, looks like, I feel like that's the only option he's got is the holding on that one, but we'll see if it comes back or not.
It was a gain of 5 down to the 1-yard line, but it looks like the first call there was a hold.
Holding. Offense number 4. 10-yard penalty.
Again, much like Cortland, big penalty deep in the red zone. May may take a turn and stop this drive. We'll see.
So instead of being 2nd and goal from the 1-yard line, it's 1st and goal from the 15.
1st and goal Bombers. And the Red Dragon 15-yard line.
Dempsey under center. He's got 2 wide receivers to the near side. Takes the handoff. Pressure coming. Rolling to the near side. Firing. Caught. And pushed out of bounds around the 7-yard line. It was hauled in by Vito Buffoli.
It seemed as though Dempsey, after that fake, was looking to go to Ben Carey right there, but clearly covered by the Red Dragon defense, and adjustments made at halftime, helping out.
Let's take another look. Here's what that long pass looked like from the sideline. As Dempsey just floats it in there nicely for Bauer. Give up the middle, and so far no signal yet. It looks like they're going to rule him short. Bombers thought they had a touchdown. It looks like instead it'll be 3rd and goal from the 1-yard line.
Looking a lot like last year's goal line stand right now. We'll see if the Red Dragons can do it again.
And we can wait a little longer as the time winds out. We're through 3 here at the stadium complex. Bombers lead it 14-10, looking for their first Cortaca Jug win in 5 years.
Yeah, the Bombers right now really looking like the better team.
And here's another interview.
Hey guys, I'm with Kevin Pristash, the director of the Student Union. Kevin, tell us, what kind of activities we got going on for this Cortaca?
Well, we've changed it all up this year. We've had a great week of activities leading up to today's Cortaca Jug game, starting on Tuesday. Wednesday we had some music events. On Thursday we had a Thursday night football event. Last night we kind of had a little bit of a pep rally up in the Moffitt Gymnasium. And I don't know if you noticed, but we had some activities out in front of the gate today. And it's been great so far, but the big event is the White Panda concert, which is tonight at 7 o'clock up in the Moffitt Gymnasium.
What's the biggest difference for this year's activities you guys came up with from past years?
Well, in past years, there really hasn't been a lot going on because we've always focused on the game as being the most important thing. And that took so much of our energy and resources that we didn't really have a lot going out other than the game. But after last year, and we looked at the things that happened, we said, we're going to have to redouble our efforts and give some alternatives. So,
thanks, Kevin. Back to you, Cody.
Thanks, Keith. And we're set to start the 4th quarter of play. 3rd and goal for the Bombers at the 1. 3 backs. The give is over, and he stopped it around the 5. Only needed 1, instead he lost 4.
That Red Dragon defensive line just came off fire and pushed the Bombers back a whole yard and getting right into the backfield.
There it is, and coming up with the initial stop was number 6, Gabe Ostro. And Ithaca will send on the field goal unit. And for this one being the distance, it's only a 22-yard attempt. They send on number 24, Garrett Nicholson. Looking to make it a touchdown lead. Kicks up, and he knocks it through.
And the field goal is good.
Ithaca up 17-10 with 14-11 to go in the 4th quarter. Was certainly a great stand by the Cortland defense, but Ithaca finally able to move the ball down the field, and the passing game's working for them again.
Yeah, obviously you never like giving up points, but being able to stop them while they're on the goal line after that big pass to Chris Bauer was huge for the Red Dragon defense.
So the Red Dragons now in the position where they need to answer soon. Now down an entire touchdown.
Yeah, it's still a one-score game though. Could have been more than that if they were able to punch it in on the few plays on the goal line, but right now, Red Dragon's still in the range to come back.
Kicking it off for Ithaca will be the other kicker, Max Rottenecker. Only football player I've ever seen from Germany. I was surprised by that, and makes you wonder if he's one of those, former soccer players converted to a football player, but either way, he's got a foot. Back to return for the Red Dragons, Dylan Peebles.
Been a while since we've seen this this return unit back there. We'll see if they can come up big and maybe put some points on the board.
Carson Lassiter also back there as well. Fielded by Peebles at his own 9. He's out across the 20, got the 30, he's got some room, he's going to improvise across the field, at the 40, to the 40, 20, 50, 10, 5, touchdown, Red Dragon! We said they needed the answer, and they do!
That is Dylan Peebles' 3rd return touchdown of the season and his 4th of his career. That is extraordinary for the Red Dragons today. Nicely done by Dylan Peebles and great blocking.
This place is absolutely rocking right now.
17-16 Ithaca, awaiting the extra point.
Here's another look. Cronin's extra point attempt is good, and we are tied. 13:57 to go in the game. 17 all here in Cortland.
After a fairly quiet 3rd quarter, this 4th quarter really starting to show some big points on the board.
Here's another look. Able to break through, and then all he had to do was beat the kicker. Maybe slowed down a little bit. Thought he was going to be knocked down there, but able to muscle his way into the end zone.
91-yard return by Dylan Peebles, beautiful. Way to put some more points on the board for the Red Dragons.
So, Corey, if you're on the Ithaca side, what's your strategy for kickoffs?
I don't even know, because it seemed to be that they have had good coverage throughout the day, only giving them about 20 yards per return, and just broke that one free. It's tough.
I think I'd kick it to Lassiter instead.
I guess.
The Peebles can fly. He hits a hole, and the speed immediately changes from fast to whoa, what was that? Left a bunch of Bombers grabbing air there, and now we'll see if the Bombers can answer here as Cronin sets up to kick this one away.
This Red Dragon team, and especially their defense, tends to thrive when the momentum's on their side. And I don't think there's been a point in this game where momentum's been more on one side right now. Let's see what they come out in this upcoming drive for the Bombers.
Cronin booms one that's picked up by Carney at the 3, and he's upended by Carson Lassiter at the 19-yard line.
Carson Lassiter showing what he's about to bring out on the defense.
Here it is, Carson Lassiter. Now the Cortland defense needs to see if they can step it up again, trying to slow down this Ithaca offense that found the end zone, that managed to put up a field goal. Lassiter has 3 tackles now on the afternoon. 13:52 to go. Dempsey with the give. It's Oliver out of the backfield, and coming up with the tackle from behind is Joe DeLuca.
That's a great way to quiet this Cortland crowd for the Bombers. Nice run, and we'll see if this can begin the start of a long drive.
Gain of 8 on the play, 2nd and 2.
Gain of 8 will bring up 2nd and 2. They send Carey in motion. Dempsey's under center now. And the give is to Oliver, who's brought down in the backfield, and there he is. Big Joe DeLuca coming up on the stop. It'll bring up 3rd down.
Joe DeLuca is a force to be reckoned with on that offensive line, and right now, the Bombers have about 10 more minutes and time of possession on the day versus the Red Dragons, showing how much effort and really work that this defense has been putting in, and it's tie ball game, so they're doing something right.
Crowd really getting behind the defense now. 3rd and 2. Play clock's down to 6. Dempsey rolling out. Looking near side. Got his man. He's got the first down. It's Bauer. Able to get to the Ithaca 32, and that'll be enough to move the chains.
Yeah, Bauer and Tom Dempsey are clearly on the same page today. Bauer's running really nice routes, and Dempsey is giving him the ball right on the money.
First and 10 for the Bombers. Dempsey back to pass. Fires over the middle. It's caught. Buffoli just short of the first down. It'll be 2nd and 1.
Yeah, right now the Red Dragons are only rushing 3 guys, giving Dempsey quite a bit of time back there, and when he has time, he is a dangerous weapon, able to pick apart this Cortland zone.
Here's another look at it. Buffoli coming right over the middle. And Dempsey putting it on him. So another short yard situation here on 2nd down. High snap. The give is to Oliver. Breaks it back towards the far side and is able to pick up the first down. Looked like it wasn't going to go anywhere, but able to shift field and make something out of it.
Yeah, Oliver's a speedy guy. It's going to be, unless you can get to him right when he touches the ball, it's going to be tough to stop him for a loss or a no gain.
First down Bombers, they're at their own 47.
Again, Dempsey making play calls.
Play clock down to 4. The gives to Oliver, trying to bounce it outside. He's got a hole and able to get across midfield into Cortland territory before being wrapped up.
Another example of Oliver breaking wimpy arm tackles. Oliver has been doing that all day today. It's been a big issue for the Red Dragon defense. They need to fully wrap him up and bring him down to the ground, or he's going to continue to do so.
Here it is again, and you see able to break the tackle of Joe Loyacono. And the Bombers have it 2nd and 6. And off they call Oliver's number again. And he'll be brought down, so another 3rd down coming up for the Bombers.
This is a tough one. Only about 3rd and 4, and right in the middle of the field. 9 minutes, 10 minutes left to go in this game. Tough play call choice right now.
3 yards on the play. 3rd down and 3.
3rd and 3 for the Bombers, and you're in a position right now where you got to decide if you don't get it here, you're going to go for it or you're going to punt. And really, either one could hurt you, and it's going to be interesting to see what play call Mike Welch goes to. Certainly, he doesn't want to get to that point. Dempsey back to pass.
He's looking for carry again.
Clips one, penalty flags fly. He had his man. It was Josh Oliver out of the backfield who gained enough for a first down. And we'll get the call from Joe Caruso.
Yeah.
This is going to be a big one.
Must have been very clear. There were about 3 flags threw at the exact same time.
10-yard penalty, repeat 3rd down.
And what a break the Red Dragons got right there. A hold against the Bombers is going to back this one up. And if they go for... We'll see if we can get it here. I'm going to assume it was on number 70 there. That's Zach Miza, the senior from Doylestown, Pennsylvania. And it backs the Bombers up to their own 44. So it'll be 3rd and 13.
Yeah, the Bombers doing a little better than the Red Dragons today. 3 of 11 on 3rd down, and we'll see if they can improve that a little bit with gaining one right here.
Four for 13, the Bombers are on third down. They're trying to make it 5. The Red Dragons looking to keep the momentum going.
Be interesting to see what the Red Dragons bring defensively right now. Are they going to bring the pressure onto Delhunty or onto Dempsey, or are they going to drop into a soft zone as they have been?
Dempsey blocking out signals to his wide receivers. Back to pass. Pressure coming. Gabe Ostro, he's able to avoid the pressure, scrambles to the near side. Out towards midfield before getting hit. He's going to be short of the first down. Managed to get to the Cortland 46, but that's about 3 yards short.
Gabe Ostro just made a beautiful move coming off that side. Nice spin move to get in and put the real pressure on him. There you see right there.
Got to credit Tom Dempsey there. Saw him spin, move, knew he was going to be one-on-one with Gabe Ostro. Cuts it to the near side, and able to make something out of it now. And the Bombers bring on the punt unit. Once again, Michael Lopez.
Yeah, that last tackle right there being made by sophomore Tyler Anderson, who was leading the team in tackles.
Bettis fields it at around his own 22 and used momentum to pick up a few more yards before being brought down. It'll be first down Red Dragons. They'll start from their own 24. 8:13 to go in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, big drive right now for the Red Dragon offense. They've been very quiet in the second half. The 7 points coming from the special teams, but we'll see what they can do if they can produce anything.
First and 10 Red Dragons from their 24-yard
Starting
line.
trips to one side. Looks like they're maybe going back to the air.
Grassi back to pass. Screen pass to Babbitt. Makes the catch out across the 25-yard line, got to about the 27. It's a pickup of 3. It'll bring up 2nd and 7, and John Babbitt is 1 completion away from tying the record for most receptions by any player in SUNY Cortland history.
2nd and 7.
Babbitt's on the sideline for this one. Lou Bushy tried to run the read option, and he met a wall of Bombers coming up with the tackle. That's number 56, Kenneth Bradley, the freshman from Jackson, New Jersey. He stepped up big time this year for the Bombers defense.
Yeah, it's tough when Bushy goes into the backfield because the Bombers linebacking core relies solely on the idea that he is going to be running the ball and he's going to keep it, and they bring the noise.
Another long third down, 3rd and 10. Grassi back to pass, and he's going to go down. The pressure got to him. And most important key that you had, that Coach Mack had, certainly doing the Red Dragons in right now. Their inability to convert on 3rd down as they lose a yard.
No gain in the play.
That is number 10 on the day. 0 for 10 for the Red Dragons on 3rd down, and it's tough to beat anybody when you're unable to convert on 3rd down to that scale.
And Shane Cronin on once again to punt it away. He's been busy. Carney back to return it. Fields it at the 40. And he's going backwards right now, trying to avoid some tacklers. Now he's back at the 45, cross midfield and tripped up. Ball came out, but after he was already down. It'll be first down Ithaca. They'll start good field position there in Red Dragon territory.
Sam Carney with the return.
Here we'll take another look. You know, usually you're told just keep going forward, just gain as many yards. He starts going backwards, but kid's so quick, he's able to outrun all these Red Dragon tacklers before finally being tripped up, and the Bombers have it. 1st and 10 from the 47.
Second shoelace tackle today by the Red Dragons that saved a bigger gain.
Just under 6.5 minutes to go. Dempsey fakes the handoff, rolling out to the near side. Now he's going to tuck it and run. Down at about the 45. And a penalty flag flies.
Dempsey with the carry.
Yeah, I believe they're going to get Red Dragons for a bit of a late hit on the quarterback right here. Remember that everyone's got to remember that the quarterbacks are prized possession nowadays in terms of the rules, and the rules do everything to keep them safe.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Defense number 9, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Penalties on number 9, Matt Ambrose. And here we'll take another look at it. There it was again. You know, certainly, definitely a little excessive and whatnot, but the way that he went down, it looked like his legs were pinned underneath him, so I don't know necessarily that it was all Jake Serezna on that one. It looked like Tom Dempsey was also just trying to get his legs underneath him. Give is to Oliver. He hit a wall and got stuck by Tyler Anderson.
Again, Tyler Anderson's leading this Red Dragon defense in tackles today. That is 16. That is the 16th tackle between him and Mark Delplete, and that's huge. If you got two corners coming up, being able to make big tackles and combining for 16 tackles on the day, that's big.
Here's what it looked like from the end zone. Second down and 4 for the Bombers. They're at the Cortland 25. Dempsey back to pass, fires near side, got his man, that's Bauer, before he goes out of bounds inside the 20 to the 18.
Yeah, it's tough. Bauer is just doing those sideline routes, and Dempsey just knows he's good chance he's going to be open almost every single time.
Here's another look, and just too much space. They give Bauer. As we approach the 5-minute mark. Bombers really moving the football well on this drive. Here's the give to Oliver. Trying to bounce it to the outside, and he's going to be brought down after a gain of about 3.
Josh Oliver once again. Tackle by number 90, Jake Serezna.
Ithaca is now over 300 yards on the day of total offense, where Cortland is far behind, still sitting in the 100.
Oliver able to pick up a few. 2nd and 8. He's got 95 yards. 5 more, he'll reach the century mark. Instead, this time they give it to Tristan Brown, who's brought down after a minimal gain. It'll bring up 3rd down.
Tough run by Tristan Brown right there, but the Red Dragon defensive line reading it and filling all the holes yet again.
Here it is again. Brown ran in right to the back of his own line on number 75, Andrew Benvenuto. And it's 3rd and 7.
Huge 3rd down right now.
Probably one of the biggest 3rd downs the Bombers have faced this far. Dempsey back to pass. Over the middle. No, he dropped it. The intended receiver was Buffoli. They hit him right in the chest, but couldn't hold on once he was contacted by the Red Dragons defense, and another stop. As we take a look.
That's a 3rd drop on the day by Buffoli, and that's tough because that would have put them in a little bit of a better situation going for the field goal, if that's what they will attempt.
We'll see. That is number 24 there. Garrett Nicholson's out on the field. He'll attempt what is a 32-yard field goal to put the Bombers back on top.
Foley is actually his holder as well.
Play clock's down to 2. Snaps down. Kick is up. And the kick is good. Bombers on top 20-17. With 3:17 to go in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, I mean 3:17, just enough time for a nice sustained drive down the field, put points on the board, but this Red Dragon offense has just been absent this entire half, and if they continue to do so, it's going to end in the Bombers' favor.
Well, Corey, I'll ask you, we've seen the coaches switching the quarterbacks a lot, and we haven't seen Lou Bushy this often in a game. at least at home. You gotta keep going with that. You gotta stick with one guy. What do you do here?
I mean, I stick with one guy, but clearly he has lost the confidence in starting quarterback John Grassi today, throwing some interceptions, and it's just been a tough day for Grassi, and there's just no confidence out there.
Here's the interview with Coach Walsh talking about the experience of Tom Dempsey.
Have in these games and in these type of situations, the better all our players will be. But it's so important for that quarterback position. He's key to most people's offense and key to how well a team does. And Tom's operated our offense very, very well and had a very good game last week. So that's good momentum going into this one.
Ryan Ecker set to kick it away. Peebles, Lassiter back to return. It bounces in front. Peebles will pick it up just inside his own 20. Now he's got some room to run again. Finally out of bounds, and then he's tackled on the Ithaca sideline. So good field position to start the drive for the Red Dragons as they'll start from their own 40.
Yeah, the Red Dragons offense really needs to wake up and make some plays right now. In terms of total offense, the Bombers are sitting at 312 yards on the day, and the Red Dragons are still sitting at 123. It's going to be that they need this drive right here.
That Ithaca scoring drive, 7 plays, 32 yards, took a little over 3 minutes. Cortland trying to answer. Rossi's out there, he drops back to pass. Pressure coming from the backside, he slings it over to Peebles. He's brought down in the backfield, a loss of about 2.
Dylan Peebles on the reception.
Yeah, right there, Grassi getting some serious pressure, but well-deserved pressure, letting some guys in to open up the screen for Peebles, but the linebackers smelt that out.
2nd and 11. Grassi able to get some blocks. He tucks and runs. Penalty flag flew in during the run. And it's going to be an offensive hold. This is a preliminary indication from Joe Caruso.
Yeah, this is
Offense number 68.
maybe the worst time to get a call right now for Red Dragons. And
they get the junior number 68, Vin Giuliano.
That's tough. It looked like he might have called it right at the end, and I don't believe his hold even helped Grassi get anywhere. So that's a tough penalty to make right there.
Backs the Red Dragons all the way up to their own 29. It's 2nd and a mile. Pass out to KJ Zinnerman. That's going to get him close to the original line of scrimmage. But still a long 3rd down coming up for Cortland. Gain of 10.
Yeah, right now, 2:30 left. This might be 4-down territory. This may be the last drive of the game for the Red Dragons. You can see right there their offensive totals for the day, and they need improvement in that category.
We'll get a whistle here. The referees will get together.
I mean, the passing game has been the real big question for the Red Dragons today. You got one of your go-to wide receivers, Del Hunty, without a catch on the day. Riley, the tight end, no catches on the day, and that's tough to come away with a W when you don't incorporate your key players into the game.
Third and 11 for Cortland. 3 wide receivers. Grassi back to pass. Fires. Josh Riley couldn't come up with the catch as he was going to the ground. Had it and he couldn't hang on. It would have given the Red Dragons a 1st down to the Ithaca 45. And now the Red Dragons have to make the decision, go for it or punt with 2:13 to go.
If you are the Ithaca Bombers right now, you tell your entire special teams to watch the fake. The return doesn't matter. You can call it fair catch. Watch the fake.
Cronin on to punt it away. Carney's not even going to make the attempt for it. This one bounces and will roll a little bit before finally being down at the Ithaca 16-yard line. So and here's another look. As the defense of Ithaca caught a break here, John Grassi able to step up in the pocket, avoid the pressure, had Riley, but just couldn't hang on.
Yeah, that's tough that was a drop catch because Grassi made a beautiful play, avoiding the pressure, sliding up into the pocket, throwing a nice ball, but no good.
So the Bombers' goal here, simply eat up time. They've got the lead. The give is to Oliver, who's met in the backfield. A nice stick there by Tolosi.
Tolosi does not want to change his streak of undefeated against Ithaca at his time at Cortland.
Timeout called by the Red Dragons. Here's another look at it. Tolosi's going to come from the far side. It'll be 2nd and 9 coming out of the timeout. 1:57 to go.
Please be informed that actions on and off the field are being
And we asked Andrew Tolosi the question of what it would mean to him and the guys if they became only the 2nd senior class in Cortland history to win the Jugs in all 4 years. Only last year's graduating group can say they did that, and he said it'd mean everything, you know, and especially with the way that the secondary has stepped up. You look at, he's the only senior in the Cortland secondary, and he's had nothing but great things to say about Mark Del Preti, Tyler Anderson, and that entire young secondary and how well they've stepped up. And Carson Lassiter.
That's how you know you have a leader on your team, teaching the young guns, the people that will take his place once he graduates.
Oliver on the give, and he got walloped again on the other side. It'll bring up 3rd down, so the Red Dragons call another timeout, 1:51 to go. They're down to 1 timeout, but they made stops really quickly, so they've saved a lot of time. Even a lot of people might have been like, why are you punting it? You don't have a whole lot of time. They're making it seem like they had an eternity to get the ball back.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, the defense is stepping up as they have all game. The offense is just not been there. And if you come down to it, if they make a nice stop right here and force a punt, they're going to be getting the ball back with about 45 left. That's passing time. Your passing offense on the day has been non-existent.
Here's last year's Cortaca Jug game summary. Red Dragons scored a touchdown in all 4 quarters. And the biggest one by John Babb, who caught it with 1 minute, 8 seconds left to go. That gave the Red Dragons the eventual win.
As you see right there, Buffoli, guy dropping a bunch of passes today for the Bombers. Not only caught a touchdown last year, but also threw for a touchdown last year.
3rd and 7 for Ithaca. They need to get to their own 26 for a 1st down. Dempsey back to pass. He's rolling out to the far side. He's not going to get it. He's going to be brought down.
Dempsey with the carry.
Huge play by the Red Dragon defense right here. Huge stop, giving their offense an opportunity to put them back in the, potentially give them the lead or tie this ball game back up.
And the Red Dragons call their 3rd and final timeout. They've got 1:45 left, and Dempsey didn't see anything open, decided, okay, I'll take the easy route, I'll take it myself, see what I can get. Really only got back to the line of scrimmage. 4th and 6.
Yeah, the Red Dragon defensive line continuously just pushed him to the sidelines, gave him no room to run up the field, and huge stop for the defense again. See, if you're Ithaca here, do you allow them to return it, or you kick it to the sideline, kick it out of bounds?
We'll see. Michael Lopez.
4th down. Lopez
set to punt it away. Back to return is Caleb Bettis. Lopez gets it away. Bounces it the Ithaca 45. Bettis able to corral it around his own 45 and forced out of bounds around midfield.
1:35 to go, 50 yards.
Red Dragons, can they do it? Will it stay where it's been for the past 4 years, or will it make that half an hour, 45-minute trek back to Ithaca?
Yeah, I mean, right now this offense needs to step up. They need their quarterback. They need John Grassi or Lou Bucci, whoever is going into the game, which is John Grassi, to step up. He needs to stay confident in the pocket, deliver a strong ball to his receivers, and they need to move that ball down the field.
Grassi back to pass. He finds Delahunty. He rolls forward. Progress was stopped. He got into the Ithaca 46. Gain of 5.
First catch of the day for Delahunty.
Grassi back to pass again. Now he's going deep for Delahunty. Makes the catch.
Second catch of the day for Delahunty. He is making an impact as he very well should.
First down, Red Dragons. From the Ithaca 12, Delahunty coming up big late in the game.
The big play, as we talked about before. That's what the Red Dragons thrive on.
Peebles able to get inside the 10, a pickup of about 3 down to the 8.
Tough part now is you are in field goal range. If you get to 4th down, what's your option or your choice?
Peebles again, bouncing it down inside the 5.
Huge 3rd down.
The thing with Ithaca, you got 2 timeouts left, clock's down to 40 seconds. When do you take them? Because if Cortland scores, you gotta find enough time to come up with a play. Give us to Peebles again.
Stopped.
And he's gonna be stopped. It'll bring up 4th down.
Looks like they're going with the field goal.
They're gonna try for the field goal. They gotta hurry because they don't have any timeouts left. Almost looks like the end of the Brockport game. Back in League 2.
They look confused. The holder did not come out of the field.
Clock's down to 10 seconds. 5 seconds. Oh, there's the snap. Now they gotta run a play.
He's got him.
End zone.
Got him.
Cortland's gonna win the football game. Cortland's gonna win the football game. Cortland fans put an open hand up. Have a decade of dominance. Oh my!
Oh, it is madness out there right now.
That is the greatest finish you will ever see. 5 years in a row, Cortland has won the Cortaca Jug. The Ithaca players are beside themselves. It was such a broken play.
John Mannix going in for the final touchdown of the day. Oh, huge. What an ending to a beautiful game.
What a pass from Luke Hinton.
Luke Hinton messed up, didn't come onto the field.
We'll send it down to the field with Keith Corder, who's with John Mannix.
John Mannix, what just happened? That was a huge play. You just won the Cortaca Jug for Cortland. Hey, what's going on, man?
You know what we practice at? We practice for every scenario. As soon as that happened, I knew exactly what to do. So did Luke Hinton, the holder. And we just got the play off. And I was able to come down with the catch for the win.
Thank you again, fans, families, and all participants for joining us.
Right now, you beat him again, another year in a row.
Winter contest. Visit www.
I'll let you go, but just tell us, another year, bring it home to Cortland. What does that mean?
It means so much to everyone, not only this team who's worked so hard all season, but everyone in the fans that's been rooting us on, staying with us, everyone that used to play Cortland football. We're all just one big family, and I'm happy to bring it home for you.
Congrats, man. Go enjoy it. Cody, what an ending. Back to you.
We'll take another look at it. Certainly wasn't the prettiest, but it's the only one that matters in the end. Here it was. First, you're looking for your holder to come out on the play. Luke Hinton, I think he was trying, I don't even know what he was doing. But here he is. Then the snap doesn't even get to him.
He doesn't look.
He's not looking, but he's going to get up with it. Nice block there, thrown by the kicker. Mannix releases, and there's nobody there. Makes the catch. Ball game over.
Beautiful play by Mannix to have the awareness that he needs to get out into the end zone and get his arms out and get Luke Hinton to realize that he is wide open in the end zone, and the Red Dragons come away with the W.
23-20. The Red Dragons upset the Ithaca Bombers 5 years in a row. The Cortaca Jug will stay in the Crown City, and Coach Dan McNeil talked to us. He said, in games that I've won as a head coach here at Cortland, as far as the Cortaca Jug game goes, the margin of victory has averaged to be less than a touchdown. He's got another one, and he said in games that they've lost, the turnover margin has been greatly in favor of Ithaca. Here's the final stats. Rushing yards in favor of the Bombers, 129-35. Passing stats, pretty even for the most part, still an edge to the Bombers. Total yards, Bombers all the way. Turnovers were even today. Penalties, both teams had 7. And time of possession favored the Bombers. Everything seemed to favor the Bombers, but that last play that you just cannot prepare for, and the Red Dragons take it home.
Madness. Big day for the Cortland seniors. That's who you should be really proud of today. Get to come away with the second year ever being undefeated against the Ithaca team in the Cortaca Jug. And
so this year's group of seniors that were honored before the game, congratulations, you become the second class ever to win 4 Cortaca Jugs in your entire Cortland career. Joining last year's group, what a finish. It has been absolutely stunning. The Ithaca side completely shocked by what just happened. We still feeling the effects. I don't think it's set in quite yet, and I don't think it's going to set in for a while.
I fully agree. I think it's set in for the Ithaca football team, and that's about it.
Look at this. Here's the records. That's only Cortland's second win at home so far this season, but it was well worth it. Meanwhile, Ithaca drops their second road contest of the season, but for the Bombers, they do get to move on. They'll play in the NCAA tournament after receiving the automatic bid from the Empire 8 Conference. The Red Dragons will have to wait and find out what's going to happen with them, as this could be their last game of the season, and if it was, they certainly went out on a high note. Obviously, we heard the Red Dragons. There's a 3-team battle for the NJAC title, and it won't involve Cortland this year. They're in 4th. But with everything that's gone on, we saw the start that they had, 0-4, including 2 games that a lot of people felt there was no reason they should have lost, especially with how they played out against Buffalo State and Brockport. A lot of people felt this is a team that coming into this game today could have easily been 6-3. And now they proved maybe they could have been 7-3, but instead, can't worry about what could have been. Instead, they're still Cortaca Jug champions once again. And the feeling here is just ridiculous. You still got the Red Dragons celebrating over there as they have photos taken. Meanwhile, the Ithaca group is just listening to the coaches and what they've got to say. And certainly, head coach Mike Welch is telling them, look, guys, we got to bounce back from this. We've got more time to play, but we've got to put this behind us now.
Yeah, I mean, this is something that they can't dwell on. They got the rest of the season to finish out. The Red Dragons, on the other hand, just need to continue to think about this going into next year. This is a huge morale booster for some of the younger guys, some of the guys that got to step up and make some plays, and we'll see how it affects them.
So what a play to end that one. An amazing finish, you know. See, and that's what it comes down to. With the interesting thing, I wondered, would Ithaca take a timeout in the last few seconds? They didn't, and it ends up coming down to, because of that, it ends up being that the final play of the game is the one that matters.
Yeah,
After that, you've got no control, and certainly John Mannix hauling it in.
Exactly. It's almost an undescribable ending. You in no way would you have ever imagined that being it. I didn't think 2 years Cortaca Jug goal line stand could have been topped, and it may have just been topped.
That's what I was going to say. 2012, the goal line stand wins it for Cortland. 2013, you got the fumble that is recovered. Foley coughed it up. And now you've got, I don't even know what you call it. You can't call it a field goal because he didn't kick it. the botch play, I guess, is what you can call that, even though it actually worked out. I mean, I don't even know, but each game seems to have about 3 words that can describe how it went and what it came down to.
Kudos to the Red Dragon defense for really sticking with it today. They didn't get a lot of time to rest or cool down, but they held strong today.
Here's the game summary. Red Dragons able to come up with 13 points in the 4th quarter to win it. John Mannix only had 2 catches on the day, but him and another guy with only 2 catches, Jack Delahunty, came up big on the final drive. Offensive statistics really in favor of the Bombers, but here we go. We're going to send it down to the field, and Keith Corder, who's with winning head coach Dan McNeil.
Coach, I know I'm speechless. I can only imagine what's going through your mind right now. How you feeling?
Well, you know, as a head coach, what you really are is a servant. You know what I mean? And you try to make sure you serve and give every opportunity for your kids to perform. As nervous as I was that the holder wasn't on time out there, we do practice those breakdowns, those fumbled snaps to get ourselves in a fire. They yelled fire and they executed the thing, and good for them. They gave us an opportunity, which could have been a horror show, turned into just a magnificent finish.
And how much do you guys practice really make the players understand that even if a situation doesn't go your way, you can still make something happen?
Well, I mean, that's you try to do that as much as you can. So, like every Thursday, we practice the fires. The bobbled snap. You got to go one way or the other. And so, they bobbled the snap. He called fire, and the kids got where they were supposed to be, and good for us.
What does another Cortaca victory mean to you?
It means each victory is just a real precious one. I mean, the game itself. What a great game, and. You don't want to be the loser of a game like this, but the fact is that that's a heck of a football team, and they'll do well in the playoffs, I think, and we'll enjoy keeping the Jugs for another year and a record 5 now. It's been done one other time, but they're not recorded on the Jugs, so we got 5 recorded, so that's big.
Coach, congrats. Enjoy.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Cody, back to you.
As Coach Dan McNeil said, it was done one time before. The last win of that 5-win streak was the first Cortaca Jug game between these two teams. And here we go. We'll take another look at how we got to this point. Ithaca got off to a great start. Ben Carey able to find open space and scoot into the end zone untouched. That put Ithaca up 7-0. Then at the other end, they use the running game, and they're back Josh Oliver, who bounces it to the outside and gets some great blocks as well, able to get the corner, putting the Bombers up 14-0 in a game where at that point it looked like the Bombers might be on the runaway path. Then the Red Dragons offense starts to get going. John Grossi with the wide receiver split out. He's just going to give it up here to Dylan Peebles, who's going to break through the line, and he's going to find pay dirt. That got Cortland back into it, down just a touchdown. Cortland's defense stepped up. Ithaca coughed it up a couple times with interceptions. The Red Dragons were able to get a field goal on the next drive, got to within 14-10. That's where we were at the half. And then Ithaca came out, put a field goal up on the board, went up 17-10, and then Dylan Peebles again, this time with the kickoff, going all the way to the house, avoiding a would-be tackle here at the end from the kicker for Ithaca, just inside the 5-yard line.
As I said in the pregame, it's pretty key if you to focus on special teams for Ithaca.
And finally, the last touchdown, the one that decided who would keep the Jugs. Luke Hinton was late getting onto the field. Then the snap was downright ugly. Not even looking for it. Falls right in his lap, and then he's going to get a nice block here from the kicker, Cronin. Just throws the elbow into him. And then he finds John Mannix in the end zone for the game-winning score. And that ending, it doesn't get any better. That's about as close to the kick 6 of Alabama Auburn that you're going to see here in Division III with the Cortaca Jug game. But once again, the Red Dragons come away with it 23-20. And Corey, what do you feel? What does it mean for this program? Because not only are these two teams rivals, next year Cortland will go into the Empire 8 Conference, which Ithaca is currently in. And I think this is just a good measuring stick as to how well Cortland will compete in that conference.
Yeah, I mean, I think next year it's going to be tough. The Empire 8 Conference is very different than the NJAC which they're in right now, and I think there's going to be this rivalry may be more important next year. Now making it a conference game, and I'm assuming it'll still remain the last game of the season, and it's only going to raise the stakes and make things more exciting.
And I can only imagine what this game will be like if it ever comes down to both teams having great seasons. Like in 1988, both teams were unbeaten. Cortland knocks off Ithaca. Ithaca gets revenge in the NCAA tournament en route to a national title that maybe a lot of people felt the national championship game was the second game between Ithaca and Cortland. So if those teams are ever that good again and that season's on the line, this Cortaca Jug is going to be more than just those ceramic jugs. But there could be a conference title on the line, an NCAA tournament berth on the line, and the possibilities are endless. But this rivalry is just going to continue to grow.
Very much so, and it's healthy. It's the biggest little game in the nation, and that's something you should be proud of. That's something that all the players in this game should be proud of. All the people that are attending this game, all the students of both places, it's something to be proud of.
As we take a look at the season stats with this game included, here's the quarterback John Grassi, now over 2,200 yards passing, 16 interceptions, probably the biggest blemish on that stat line there, but he's got 11 touchdowns, including a 90-yard pass that set a record against Southern Virginia. But when it comes down to the wire, he has proven to be a leader of this team. And I asked you, what do you do? Do you keep switching out the quarterbacks? Lou Bushy, a little more mobile. But they decide we're going to go with John Grassi. We need a guy who's proven, who has been on the field the longest. And, Lou Bushy, I think, after watching this game, has a ceiling that is so high as to what he can do. And I can't wait to see how he comes in another year of John Grassi next year, and these quarterbacks are just going to continue to lead this Cortland team.
Yeah, both juniors right now, and it'll be interesting to see the quarterback competition next year.
Want to have an experience of a lifetime? The State University of New York at Cortland is just that. Nestled in central New York, SUNY Cortland is a beautiful campus that covers over 190 acres with 30 traditional and modern buildings. We offer 60 undergraduate majors along with 38 minors from which to choose. The school has more than 7,200 wonderful students, all with a desire to better themselves. Come take a look at SUNY Cortland and seize the moment, feel the momentum.
So once again, Red Dragons win their 5th straight Cortaca Jug game here at home, so it breaks the streak. The home team hadn't won it in a year. Now Cortland's won it at home twice in a row, I believe it is. Regardless, 5 times in a row, first time in the Cortaca Jug era that's happened, and just glad to be a part of it here in the broadcast booth. We hope you enjoyed it here with the broadcast on the Red Dragon Sports Network, and we hope that you'll join us in our next sport. As the winter season approaches for the Red Dragons, women's basketball was in Saratoga today. Tipping off their season is football. We'll see whether this was the last game of the season or not. Regardless, we'll cover them all here as the season goes on. For Corey Noose, Keith Corda, and the rest of us here at the Red Dragon Sports Network, a huge thanks to CVC Sports for their contributions. I'm Cody Marshall saying so long, and we'll see you next time.